You are listening to BL in the Air. My name is Shy,
And I'm Alex.
and today we're going to talk about a throwback show. This is one that I recently watched for the first time, but Alex has loved for a long time and was constantly begging me to watch it, and I finally did. So
Thank
we're
you.
covering it. It is Between Us. So we'll be talking about that. But first, Alex, what's in the air with you today? What have you been watching?
Okay, I think if anyone's in the Discord server, they'll know the answer to this. But like, the only
Hmm.
thing that has lived in my brain for like the last 2 weeks is Kimjira.
Yeah. And
um,
everyone else. Everyone seems to love it.
it's so good. Like honestly,
Hmm.
so okay, I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast or if it was just like in private separately about how nothing's really like hit this year for us. It's not that there's been a bunch of bad shows, it just nothing's really like made me feel like anything, right? Outside
Hmm.
because like last year we had My Stand-In, we had 4 minutes, we
Mm.
had
Jack and Joker.
Jack and Joker, right? So we had like a solid like set of shows which all came out like in the summer, like right around like back to back to back. So it was also
Hmm.
there was that. But like nothing has given me that same like feeling until Kimjira.
That's fair. Yeah. I loved Gel Boys, which was like early this year, but that's also a
Hmm.
very different type of show than
Yeah.
My Stand In, Jack and Joker, Kim Jira, like 4 Minute. Like
Yeah.
those are all like really intense shows that like grip you.
Hmm.
And like I feel like this year we haven't really had any of those type like the thriller types that have really
Yeah.
hooked me. So,
Yeah. Because like there's been plenty of like good shows. Like I really like The Heart Killers
hmm,
this year, and I know there's other shows I liked I can't think of right now. But
yeah.
yeah,
The
I
Heart
just
Killers
this
was that last year?
no, that was like the beginning of this year, wasn't it?
It was. Oh wow, it seems like a
I
lifetime
think.
ago.
Yeah.
Well, it
It
finished
was.
airing in
Oh,
February, so
yeah,
you're
yeah,
we're both right.
yeah. I was like, I could have sworn it was this year.
Yeah.
So it's one of those weird ones that's in between.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so like nothing's really just pulled me in the way this did. This is one of those like I finished in like a week. Um,
Yes. I okay, for the record, I have not seen it yet, and it's I've been meaning to. I have
mhm,
just been my life's been taken over by other things, but I
yeah,
am gonna watch it like ASAP.
yeah. It's I'm so happy to have a show that I like can obsess over again. Although like the feeling of loss that I've had for the last week because I finished it on Monday and
Uh,
I cried so hard. I stayed up late to finish it because I was like, oh, I'm gonna save like the last two episodes or whatever. And then I ended up watching episode 11, and I was like, well, I can't leave it on episode 12. Episode I think 10, either 9 or 10, and episode 12 are both 2 hour long. So heads
two
up.
hours?
Yeah, so all the other episodes are like an
Damn.
hour, right? So like 45 minutes to an hour
Yeah.
wherever. And both of those are like an hour 45. And I was like, "Uh-oh." So, with episode 12, I was
Okay.
up until like 3 a.m., like had work the next day, and of course I like sobbed through it. And
Mhm.
my favorite coworker comes up to me on Tuesday, and he'd been on like a business trip to Europe for like 2 weeks, and so this is the first time we've seen each other in a while, and he looks at me and he goes, "Are you okay?" Like,
Like
I'm
no.
fine. I cried a lot last night. And then he stops. He's like, no, really, are you okay? And I was like, it was a TV show. I'm fine. This is
Yeah.
normal. Don't
Mhm.
just ignore the puffy eyes. We're good.
Oh no.
I will say I am obsessed with Kang right now. He
Mhm.
sings like the main OST mantra, and it is so good.
Mm.
um, and also he's just super attractive.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I was waiting because I didn't want to watch it while it was airing because I knew I would suffer. And now
Yeah,
that it's done, I have no excuse.
yeah. So I was worried. I will say my biggest problem with a lot of shows lately has been the ending. Everything falls apart in like the last
Mm.
episode.
Yeah.
Um, ABO Desire fell apart in like the last episode. Um, Revenge
Revamp.
Love kind of fell apart. Revamp, I don't know what happened there. Right. So it was one of those. My plan was to wait for Kim Jira till the end so I could see that it ended well. I did not
Hmm.
make it to the end. I think I started watching it right before episode 11 aired. Um, because I saw a TikTok of Kang, and all it is him taking his glasses off on like a parade float or something like that. And I was like,
Oh
nope,
yeah.
gotta watch it. Immediately went to
Yeah.
watch it. I watched
Too much
that.
aura.
It really was, which is really funny because there's something in the show you're gonna get later. Um,
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything. Um,
Okay.
it's like a nothing throwaway thing, but it's just really fucking funny. Um, um, outside of that, I mean, I feel like I'm watching pretty much everything that's airing right now. Um,
Okay.
yeah. Me and Who has actually surprised me. That's the big park show.
Me
Um,
and who? It's
yeah.
called.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not to be confused with Me and Thee, which
Me-
is the Ponpu win that's coming out.
See, that's what I thought you were talking about. I was like,
No,
that's out, and then I was like, no, different
no.
show.
Yeah, it's Me and Who, which is a um Big is like
Oh.
some aristocrat or something, right? And then Park is like
Mhm.
this guy. He gets in like an accident and like wakes up in like an alternate universe type of a thing and has to kind of figure shit out. Um,
Okay.
it's a little on the silly side, but I actually really like it because I hated Monster Next Door.
Yeah.
Not that it was a bad show. I hated it because the monster thing was like the first 15 minutes of the show and then never relevant again. Um,
Yeah.
and that really bothered me.
Yeah, it's hard when like you expect the premise of the show to be what they advertise and then it's like
It's not.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Like don't tell me it's enemies to lovers if they're just going to like bicker for like 5 minutes.
Right? So like had they like portrayed it as what it actually was, I think I would have been more into it. Um,
Mhm.
but no. I honestly love this one.
Mhm.
I am cracking up every episode, so it's been fun. Um, but yeah. So I also have started some of the Japanese BLs that are airing right now.
Oh, okay.
Punk's Triangle or whatever it is.
Yes. Okay. Wait, how is it so far?
Okay.
Cuz I love the manga, but I haven't seen any of the show yet. I didn't even know they made a show until like 3 days ago and I was like, why didn't anyone tell me there's a Punk's Triangle show?
So I'd never heard of it before, so I have no idea what
Mhm.
the storyline is. I love it. I think it's great. It's been fun.
Okay. Okay,
Um,
cute.
I feel like we're about to hit some drama, some actual drama,
Mhm.
but we'll see. It's definitely it's been interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm a sucker for any manga with like a punk emo metalhead goth character. I've
mhm.
read probably all the ones that exist under that genre like area. And I think Punk's Triangle is probably one of the most famous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one's definitely it's more about fashion than it
Mhm.
is like actually punk lifestyle or
Yeah,
he's basically just
definitely.
like into the fashion, so it's like,
Mhm.
whatever, but it's still good.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun to watch. It's been one of those where I'm actually sad each episode is as short as it is because
Mhm.
what's
Yeah.
25 minutes. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been fun to get back into some JBLs. I feel like we had a stretch there where there weren't any airing.
There was. It was kind of after When It Rains It Pours stopped airing forever ago. There was like a big drought and
Mm-hmm.
then a few shows started coming in and now, yeah.
Yeah,
But
we're back to it. Thank God.
yeah. I love
So
JBLs, so
yeah.
it's really empty without them.
Mm-hmm. So what's in the air with you?
I guess kind of along the line of JBLs. I've been watching mostly anime lately.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I watched The Summer Hikaru Died and it was so fantastic. I cannot stop thinking about it. Um I didn't really know anything about it going in except Netflix thought I would really like it and they kept trying to get me to watch it for like the last month or two.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a new show, so it only came out, I want to say like 2 months ago, but
Oh wow.
um yeah, it I knew it was horror or creepy
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, it looks kind of gay." Like just based on just like it's like two boys on the cover. I don't know. And
I
Netflix
mean,
thinks I like it. So
mm-hmm.
but yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I highly recommend watching it. It's kind of about this. It's kind of similar to Jennifer's Body, which is like one of my all-time favorite movies. But there's like our main character is a high school boy and he lives in like super super rural Japan, like middle of nowhere, lives on the base of a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And the show starts and his best friend is sitting next to him, and he said something about how his best friend like went missing in the mountain for like half a month, and then he came down from the mountain and didn't remember anything about it. And so they're like talking, and he's like, "You're not Hikaru, are you?" And like Hikaru just like looks at him, and he like his face starts like melting, like so basically, and that's like the first 2 minutes. That's like the trailer of the show, so that's not really a spoiler. But basically, yeah, his best friend goes missing, and he comes back not his best friend, and so they're kind of navigating that. The main character is also navigating, like, he was secretly like in love with his best friend, but now is he still in love with this person who's back, or is it a different person? Like, and it's very supernatural, it's very like horror. It was super good, so I loved it.
That sounds really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll watch it if I have some downtime.
Yeah, watch it during the day, because honestly, especially the
Okay.
first episode, I thought was quite scary. And usually, like, anime doesn't scare me at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay,
but this
maybe I
one
don't watch it.
definitely, it's not like jump scares. It's just like it's creepy, and there's like ghosts and stuff. I would say the
Yeah.
first episode's the worst. The rest of them are not that scary.
Okay.
But yeah,
We'll
but
see.
if you can make it through the first one, you're good.
Okay. I survived Dead Friend Forever. It was, 2 weeks of hell in my apartment, but it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, I mean, it's only 12 episodes, and that's all that's out. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're making a second season.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they are. I know the manga has several volumes more than the show right now,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's
it's a
cool.
quick
I'm glad it was
watch,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that, and then I was like, okay, I need something like fluffy to watch after
Yeah.
watching that. Um, Let me look up the name. Oh, I watched Sasaki and Miyano,
I don't think
which
I've heard of that
is,
one.
yeah, that's like a proper BL anime.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was really cute. I liked it. Definitely very like slow.
Mm-hmm.
And like not like in a slow burn way, but it's just like very slice of life. So, which to me it was like slightly painful at times, but also like the characters were super likable, and I I enjoyed it a lot. And like the main couple were like so cute and so healthy, which like you never see in an
Yeah.
anime. Um so yeah, I watched the show. I thought it was super cute. I realized there's a movie, so I'm gonna watch that next.
Mm.
But yeah, but the main character is so freaking stupid because he love him, but his main hobby is reading BL, watching BL. He loves
Same.
BL. Yes, so very relatable. And then this guy, Sasaki, has a crush on him, and then but Miyano, the one who likes BL, is like, "Oh, I don't." He's like, I've never really thought about liking boys before. He's like, I think I've only ever liked girls, and I'm like, motherfucker, all
What?
you do is read gay romance. You're telling me you've never thought about if you were gay before? Like, and so he literally spends the whole show being like, I don't know if I can like guys, and it's like, and then he like goes and he goes to the bookstore and buys 40 BL manga. It's like, okay.
Child.
He's working through it though, yeah. But otherwise, yeah, it was really cute. So I think if you want something really just fluffy and pretty, like comfort, I think it's a good one. So
Sounds really cute. Maybe I need to start watching more anime BL.
yeah, I love anime. I've seen a lot of BL anime just because back oh god, I don't want to. I'm like thinking about it, and I'm from back in the day when like the only BL anime that existed was like Junjo Romantica, which I'm so sorry for anyone who recognized those words. I
Not me.
know I know I just like caused you internal pain. It's terrible, Alex. It's so fucking like the worst BL you could ever imagine. But back in the day, that was the only one that existed. And so I watched like all of it, and most of it is just so fucked up.
Oh no.
But now, yeah, but now they're starting to make
Yeah.
better BL anime. But I come from back in those days, and I'm just like, oh my god, I don't even want to remember my roots. I want to chop them off.
Oh no.
So, yeah, we've come a long way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Maybe.
that's what I've been going through.
Yeah. Maybe we do an episode on anime one day.
That's a really good idea. I would have a lot to
Yeah.
input.
I think
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I can definitely send you a few. So
Mhm.
I'm sure there's like brand new ones I'm not caught up on, like I like
Mm.
brand new, but
Yeah.
for the most part I think I'm pretty well rounded in that field.
Yeah. That would be fun though. To cover it.
Mhm.
It's not like I
Yeah.
don't like anime. I just a lot of it is things like I see One Piece and there are 1,000 episodes, and it gives me anxiety to catch up
Uh
on that.
yeah, anything I honestly don't watch like any anime that's like long. So,
Yeah.
yeah, don't worry. That intimidates me as well.
Yeah. I think like the longest one I've been able to finish is like Inuyasha.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
up there.
I watched that one a few times.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Um, I also saw the new Chainsaw Man movie, and so I had
Mhm.
to rewatch the whole season
Of course.
too, because I was like, what happened? And the movie was great. I really liked it. Um, yeah, recommend if you have definitely have to watch Chainsaw Man first, but yeah, I saw it in theaters, so that was a good time. People were dressed up.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I should have dressed up.
All
All
right.
right, well, should we talk about our main course?
Yes. So Between Us is my comfort show. This is my
Mm-hmm.
go-to when I just want to put something on, and just be comforted, basically. just, just my happy place of honestly, like, because we'll get into it, but Win is like the greenest flag in existence. Um,
He is.
I love him
This show
so
is like
much.
hurt comfort heaven if
Yes.
you're into that.
Yes, I love them so much. This is where I fell in love with Boone and Prem. This was my well, okay. So Between Us, if you haven't seen it, first off, go watch it. Don't listen to us. Um, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it is a spin-off. If you listen to our spin-off episode, it is a spin-off of Until We Meet Again, where a lot of it parallels the Until We Meet Again, just more focused on Boone and Prem's characters. And so
Hmm.
I watched Until We Meet Again after watching Something in My Room, the Supernut show that like
Hmm.
hurt me. I was
Yeah.
like, I want to be in more pain, so I watched Until We Meet Again. That first episode is awful. Um,
It's like it's hard.
it's it's well done. I think the acting and
Hmm.
all that is incredible for what those characters go through, and to be able to make me feel something and care enough about what happens to them.
Hmm.
Traumatizing, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
That being said, I fell in love with Boone and Prem.
Hmm.
And then Between Us was incredible, and it's my favorite show. I love it so much. I don't know how many times I've seen it now. Um,
Hmm.
so it aired in from November 2022 to January 2023. So another one of those that goes over the years.
Hmm.
But it was like I think like a year or two after Until We Meet Again, something like that. Like there was a pretty significant gap. Um,
Yeah.
so but basically, the summary of the plot for that one is that Team joins or is a first year in university, and he's in this swim team or on the swim club. It's not a team; it's a club. And
He's
he,
team.
yeah, and I love their names. Win Team is my favorite. Um,
Hmm.
but like he's on the swim club, and he's really he struggles with competitions. Like he has like a lot of like anxiety and nightmares and stuff like that. So the vice president of the swim club, his name is Win. he learns about like team's issues um, related to whatever trauma and whatever, and that it screws up his ability to swim, and like ends up letting like team like stay with him overnight in the dorm. And like team ends up sleeping better and does better, and so like from there like their relationship kind of like starts to develop and whatever, and they both have their own bullshit to go through.
Yes.
um so it's a pretty extensive cast that stays relevant throughout the show. So I think I'm only gonna hit Boone and Prem for now. We can always go back to the others
Mhm.
later. So Boone is Win. So that's the VP of the swim club, and then Prem is Team. Um, so it's very interesting, I guess, with the cast of this. Not to, most of them are at GMM now
Yeah.
because this was a show under, I don't remember who it was.
Wabi Sabi.
Yeah, Wabi Sabi. And Wabi
Yeah.
Sabi last year, I guess, decided they weren't going to do artist management anymore. And so pretty much released like their entire lineup of actors and almost all of them went to GMM like at the same time. It was like the
Yeah.
craziest day ever.
I know. It's like I have to remind myself that I was like, okay, this is not a GMM show.
Mm-hmm. I,
So
I
even though
think,
they're all there now, mostly.
yeah, I think Fluke isn't at GMM and
No.
Boston and I think everyone else is from like the main part of the cast. Um, so I guess to cover, plays Dean, and Fluke plays Parm, who were the main focus of Until We Meet Again. So,
Hmm.
um, but I guess we can go straight into episode 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So episode 1 starts. Team is a first year swim scholarship student, um, which is kind of interesting. This will come up in like 2 seconds, but he's on scholarship at the university for the swim team, but he still has to try out for the swim team, so he could still just
I
lose his scholarship.
I don't know. I feel like that's not how it works, but that is so funny.
Right? Like I just sat there and I'm like, how do you plan for that? Like, okay, you get on the swim team through scholarship, but then you still have to like, what if you have like a bad day at tryouts?
Yeah. I I don't know either. That's really fun. I didn't even like pick up on that.
Yeah, I just, as somebody who was very reliant on scholarships and had to worry a lot about grades and stuff like that when I was in college, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? That should automatically, like, that's, I don't know how it works in Thailand, but like here in the U.S., if you have scholarship, you're on the team, if
Yeah.
you're good
You
enough
don't
to
have
get
to
the
try
scholarship.
out.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's how we meet Team, and then Win is he's a third year student, and he is the VP of the swim team, and Dean is the president of the swim team, and there's another character. His name's Prook. I don't know what he is, but he's also helping manage the swim team. Um, one of my favorite things
Hmm.
is the all the upperclassmen. You don't see them swim a single time.
There's not there's a good long stretch in the show where just no one's swimming.
Yeah, there is, but also like everything centers around like the first year swimming. Like nobody
Yeah.
else is on the team. Everything's the first years, and
They've
then
already
you,
learned how to swim, so they're good.
but they don't even compete. It's all the first years
I
competing.
Yeah.
It's like okay, like they're the guy, all the first years and I guess the few like second years or whatever that are like around. They're always in like their swim gear, and then you have like Dean who's always in like khakis and like a button up basically. Like
Mhm.
okay, like yeah, I guess you're just coach now. Um
Yeah, he looks like it.
Yeah. So to start out the school year, the scholarship students still have to try out for the team or they risk their scholarship. And then team has two friends. We have Parm, who is again from Until We Meet Again, and he's in like the cooking club.
Mm.
And then we have Manao, who is played by Sammy, and she's in the theater club. And so they're all in their respective things. Parm being in the cooking club is like the best thing ever for Team because Team just eats this whole show. Like if he's not
Yeah.
swimming, he's eating. Um,
Yeah, well, until we meet again, like half the show is like learning about traditional Thai desserts.
hmm
And I'm like, this slays because I didn't know about like any of these, but
Yeah,
there is like so much. You learn so much about Thai desserts. I was like, I
Mm.
never thought I'd learn this much.
Yeah. Maybe I need to rewatch that so we can make a list of what we need to go try when we're in Thailand next year.
Yeah. A lot of them too are like not sweet. I'm like, interesting.
Mm.
What makes it a dessert if it's not sweet?
I guess you just eat it after a meal.
I guess so.
I'll say like a lot of like German baked goods aren't super sweet either. So
hmm
maybe.
Yeah.
Um, so one of the first things we learned is that Win and Team live in the same dorm. They don't know that. Um,
hmm
um, and so then we jump over and we meet Win's brothers, Juan and Wu. Win is the middle one, so Juan is older and Wu is the baby. Juan is played by O, who I don't know outside of this, because he's one of the ones that didn't go to GMM. And Wu is played by Santa of
Which is funny.
Perth Santa, which cracks me up because like looking at him, I'm like, first off, he's like a high schooler in this, even though it's only been like 2 years ago. And there's a few times where I just didn't recognize him, where I was like, I know you're
No,
Santa, but I don't see it.
yeah, I straight up like didn't really realize it either.
hmm So, Juan and Mew are arguing, which happens a lot. Juan argues with everybody constantly. Um,
Yeah.
he's he's kind of miserable, which is fair. He's got some shit going on, but
hmm
so we have that, and then this first episode is a lot of like jumping around because we're kind of getting a feel for all the characters because there's a lot of characters in the show.
Yeah. They also kind of assume you like, okay, you already know half of them.
Yeah,
So we're going to introduce this new batch of characters on top of that
yeah,
since you have the old ones down.
yeah. Because
So,
I don't think you necessarily need to watch Until We Meet Again to understand between us, but it helps. I think just for character, like
yeah.
understanding characters, especially like Dean and Parm's story is interwoven in this one. Um, but there's certain things that'll happen that they just don't talk about or explain.
Yeah, they I don't think in this show they mention at all that Dean and Parm are going through a reincarnation crisis. I think they just
Yeah.
ignore that. They're like, "Oh, that's just like my friend and his boyfriend."
They touch base. The closest they get to touching on it is in the first couple episodes. Anytime Dean and Parm look at each other, they just start crying.
Yeah.
And they never explain that. Um,
Oh my god, Until We Meet Again is so much crying.
so, so, from Until We Meet Again, I'd say like the main ones that we would already know are of course Dean Parm and Win Team, and then Manao and um, that's it's really like that's the core of it. I think everyone else is
Yeah.
kind of newer.
hmm
Um, so we jump back to Team from Juan and Wu. And Team is like hella stressed about the swim tryouts.
Yeah, I would be too if I literally had to drop out of university if I because I'm on scholarship for that sport that I need to try out for.
Yeah. Um, so Manao and Parm go to like the tryouts and cheer him on. And earlier on, we had Manao had like a run in with Prook, who's one of the upperclassmen that's helping like run the team. Um, and so we we see them like make eye contact again from like the sidelines and whatever, and like Prook is like already like showing sign of being into her. It's really
hmm
cute. It's funny. It's like immediate. Like he's like hi. Um, and uh, so we have that going on, and then Dean sees Parm, and he also gets weird about it because right, and he starts crying. And this is super normal
Yeah.
for them. Um,
Yeah, this is very normal.
right? Like, and it will not be explained in the show. If you want to know what that is, you have to go watch Until We Meet Again. Um, and so Team is getting ready to go like jump in the water for his tryout thing, and he has like a brief flash of like drowning, right before he jumps in. So that's great. Um,
Yeah, concerning when you're on the swim team.
and you have a drowning thing going on.
Yeah.
Um, but he comes in first, so he's fine. Scholarship is secured.
You can go to college.
Yep, thank God. And he's really
Hmm.
excited about it, of course, because he can go sleep again because he doesn't sleep much before like the tryout or anything because he has nightmares. Um, so
Hmm.
yay, he gets sleep again. Um, and then we jump to Dean runs into Parm at the grocery store. And like Parm is like trying to reach for something on the top shelf. And and Dean comes up behind him and like takes like helps him get it. And like Parm like turns around and makes eye contact and they're like super close to each other, right? And Parm starts crying for until we meet again reasons. um
Out of context, it's so funny.
right. I think for us that's the last time we see it in between us that they
Hmm.
cry, but like that's a thing that just happens for a while. Um
Yeah. I just love the idea of someone going into the show not knowing it's like a spin-off and just being like, what is wrong with these two?
right? Like cuz it's so weird. Like honestly they are so weird about all of this. But it makes sense from until we meet again even though it's still a bit dramatic. Um
Yeah.
Parm as he's crying, he runs off because he's just like, the fuck is happening? Um,
Mm.
and he goes and calls in team and meets up with him and to like comfort him or whatever. His Parm's like, I saw this guy start crying and I don't know what's happening. He's like having a whole crisis over it.
Hmm.
And like Win is lurking behind team and then like a weirdo. Um, he spends a lot of time watching team. Like
Yeah.
like at this point they haven't really engaged much, right? Like outside of one's VP and the other one is trying to do it. But like anytime like they're like within like feet of each other, like Win is just like staring him down.
Yeah. I mean, he just doesn't know how to make his move.
Yeah, he's I don't know. It's basically love at first sight without them realizing what the fuck's happening. Um
Hmm.
we've got a lot to get through before we get there.
Yeah.
Um um so then we have after everybody has made the team or whatever, um the swim team gets a beach team building trip and training trip. So that is our first swim team trip because they
Hmm.
go on trips a lot.
Yeah. I love how we're speed running like BL cliches.
Right? All in the first episode. Um
Yeah.
like team gets hurt there and so they have to carry him out of the water and Win is like trying to take care of him and team's like I'll be fine in 5 minutes and so Win just stops off. He's like fine, whatever, I won't go take care of your cut. Um just very dramatic for really
Yeah,
no
they're
reason.
dramatic too.
They are. I love them.
Hmm.
But Dean is like a weirdo because he's just like staring off in the ocean constantly. And
Crying.
Dean is like telling Win, he's like, I feel like I found something that I've been missing for a really long time. Um, because apparently, because Win and Dean have been friends since like junior high.
Mm.
And like the entire time, Dean's been like searching for something he's been missing, and Win's just like, I don't know what the fuck his problem is, but glad you found it. But while they're talking, while Dean is staring off into the ocean, um, all like moody, like, Win says he's never had anything important, and Dean immediately calls him on a shit and says Win's just never let anything be important. Um,
Oh,
right,
distinction.
right, very true though.
Hmm.
um, um, and then there's some other first years. Their names are A, B, and C. I love them. The names are great because it's A, like the letter A, I think, but then B is short for
Hmm.
Bumblebee, and then C is SEA. So, but they're always
Yep.
together. Um, and so they're all at like the party that night, and team is with them, and they're like grilling or whatever. And the four of them, so A, B, C, and team, they go off together to go watch porn.
Why was this so common in older BLs? They're always just like watching porn together
Is that like,
platonically.
is that is that a thing guys do?
I don't know. We have asked this on this podcast before and no one's ever answered our question. So
I think
please.
most of our audience is women. Um,
I don't think we have that much male audience, but the ones that are here, we
do,
need to know is this a thing? Do you just watch porn with your friends?
right? Because I can't imagine like hanging out with the girls and then pulling up a porn. Like, What?
Like, what's the end goal here? Like, why is some light entertainment? I don't know. But
Right?
there are so many like older BLs where they're just like always doing that.
Yeah, it's such a okay, guys. Whatever you want to do, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
And I don't I don't think I think it's implied that Team has just like never watched porn at this point. Because he like gets a boner and doesn't know how to deal with it. Not like he doesn't know like how to like masturbate or whatever, but it's just kind of like he's like, "Oh, I'm with my guy friends and all of a sudden now I have a boner. This is a problem." And they like tease him about it. Because he's also super obvious about it.
Yeah. It's not that subtle.
No, not at all. So he leaves. He's like, I'm gonna go. You guys have fun. And he like doesn't even like make it back to his room. He like finds like a hose with like a water barrel or something, and is like taking a cold shower outside, like shoving it like the water in his hair or whatever to like get over
Cool
his
down.
issue. Yeah. But of course, Win pops up out of nowhere because of course he does. And he's
Wynn's
like,
just been like following him this whole time.
and Win is like scolding him for like basically taking a cold shower outside. He's like, "You're gonna get sick," and then he realizes what's actually happening, and he's
Mhm.
like, "Oh," and he's like, he calls him. He's like, "Oh, you went and watched like bees like porn or whoever it was, whichever one," and it was like, okay, um, but then he kisses Team. Which this is like the one weird thing for me out of this whole show is like this kiss felt like it came out of nowhere. Um
Mm.
because it was like they hadn't really interacted much outside of like Win constantly like scolding Team. Um, but Win's like,
Yeah.
you can either deal with it on your own, or you can come back to me or with me to my room. Follow me if you want, basically, and just like walks off. And of course, like Team like skedaddles after him. Um,
That is the better of the two options.
yeah, I mean, yeah. um, so then they're in like Win's like the hotel room or resort room, whatever it is, and I love this scene so
It's good.
much. This is
It's
one of
really
my
good.
favorite scenes in this whole show. This I rewatched this episode more than anything because of this scene. But Win starts asking like a million consent questions, and just the way he does it, just them like standing there like staring at each other, and Win's like, "Are you drunk?" And it's like, and like, no, and it's like, do you know where you are? Do you have a boyfriend, like a significant other? And then like who am I? And then like the entire time Team's like, what are you doing? And Win's just like, I'm not going forward if you answer wrong to any of these, basically.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm not gonna have sex with you if we're not gonna, or like if you're not like clear.
Mhm.
So, and there's just all this tension. And then, of course, Team answers correctly on all of them. So then they kiss, and there's just so much tension, and everything. And like, they're on the bed, and like, before anything really happens, Win tells Team to call him Hio-in instead of whatever, I think P. And then they have sex.
Mhm.
Although I
I,
will say that NC scenes for this aren't explicit or anything. It cuts way before anything really happens. There's just a lot of kissing.
yeah, it really does. Like
Hmm.
it's mostly like the questioning beforehand that's like the really like
Yeah, I love
intense
it.
part.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's so good. I love shows that start with like one night stand
Hmm.
or what's supposed to be or you know,
Yeah.
friends with benefits type situation like yeah, I feel like all shows that start this way like always hit.
Hmm. So, but yeah, I just the them standing there facing each other, and Win is just so serious with these questions
Mhm.
and so
Yeah.
intense. And then like Boone and Prem have such good chemistry between the two. So
Mhm.
I love them so much.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great way to start a relationship off.
Hmm. And then I just again green flags with all the consent questions of making sure he's sober and knows where he's at and
Mhm.
that he's single.
Yeah.
So episode 2, we're back at the dorm and Team is like sitting on his bed and starts researching one night stands because he's just kind of like, what did I just do? And like,
Yeah.
uh, and I think he's trying to process like, what happened basically. Um,
Mhm.
and then he lies to Manao and says that he's skipping school because he doesn't feel well when really he's just avoiding Win.
Mhm.
So Manao goes over to Prook at the swim club to tell him about it. And Win is of course there and is like, really?
Mhm. He's
So
sick.
yeah, so Win shows up to Team's dorm to check on him, and Team admits he's not sick, and he's got like the biggest attitude with Win. It's so funny,
Mhm.
and Win just
Yeah.
flirts.
Mhm.
Wynn's like, yeah, you can be bratty. It's fine. I'll flirt with you. Um, so and it's funny because Wynn used the the club registration stuff to figure out where team lived because he didn't actually know right that they're in the same dorm. And then Wynn's like, yeah, I'm just a floor up.
Mhm.
um, so then we jump over to Juan, which is Wynn's older brother. And he is always on his phone playing a mobile game. his dad is
Always.
his dad is constantly mad at. Like if he's home, he's on his phone playing this mobile game.
Mhm.
And Juan is playing with someone named T Rex, um who we find out is Tun, who is Wynn's friend, who also works on the swim team. Um but Juan doesn't know this because they haven't shared any information. It's all just like game and whatever, and they keep it pretty surface level. So they don't know, but there's a connection there.
Mhm.
um, I'm curious what kind of game they're playing though, because it's like a mobile game, but they have voice to talk stuff.
I know. I also was like, this is interesting, but I also don't play a lot of mobile games, so I don't know.
I mean, I play mobile games all day long. I play a lot, but I don't play any that are
Yeah.
that have any
I
kind
don't
of
play any
voice.
that's like multiplayer, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I don't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, not any like that at least. So
Uh-huh.
yeah. So then we're back over at school, and Parm is starting to make breakfast for Dean because that's a big plot point from Until We Meet Again, right? Um,
Mhm.
and so we have that, and Manal and Prook have also gone to dinner together. Um, so things are happening in our side relationships.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because then Until We Meet Again, but now they just like don't give her a boyfriend
Yeah.
that I remember. I think they're just like, yeah, she's single. So at least in this show, they like, she gets to have a romantic side plot too, which is
Mhm.
nice because it was kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
hope she meets someone.
Yeah. Because it's they drag it out for a really long time. So
Yeah. In
yeah.
order to be like compliant with the two
Mhm.
shows, probably.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of retconning I think where they change some things. Um,
Yeah.
um, so we have all that going, and then Parm made breakfast for Team too. And Team takes the breakfast to Dean. Um, and Team is going to eat his own breakfast, but then Win takes it out of his hand and eats a huge chunk out of it, and then drags him off to go for them to go have breakfast together, just the two of them instead.
Mhm.
Um, which is very abnormal for Win. Win does not normally take this kind of attention on any just one person. So Twin and Dean are constantly giving up shit for um giving team special attention basically.
Mhm.
um and so when they're at breakfast, Twin walks by and sees them, and he warns Win that they're not supposed to date within the swim club. That was a rule Dean made a while ago. Um, and Wynn's like,
Sure.
yeah, Wynn's like, we're not dating. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Also, why? It's like swim club.
Yeah, but then there's drama in
Like it's
this,
not a team sport.
Apparently it is. They just call it a club, I think, because they have competitions with other schools, but
Yeah,
um
but it's not like it. Like I understand. I don't know. I feel like if you're on a soccer team together, like maybe it would mess things up because like you're actually playing on the field together. But
yeah.
swimming's like all individual, so it's like even if people date and break up and it gets awkward, like is it really gonna ruin
Yeah.
everything? You know.
Dean's just making rules to make rules.
But yeah, Dean just likes rules. I think.
um so Manao tried out for a part in the play from the theater club, and she didn't get that part. She's actually part of set design. Um, I hate the theater club. That is the most toxic shit. Um,
Yeah, I wouldn't join it.
no, I think you definitely see a little bit more of it in Until We Meet Again. I feel like you don't see too much
Mhm.
of it in Between Us. So a lot of the
Yeah.
toxicity, because there was like the guy she liked from that, and he basically isn't relevant to this at all.
No.
I think you see him like maybe once, or like
Yeah, it's probably for
mentioned
the
once.
best.
Yeah. Um. So with that, and then like Win Team are secretly carpooling to and from school together. Um. Because Win basically just has his motorcycle. And so Team's like getting ready to like drive to school, and Win just gets in his car. Um,
I love this.
yeah, it's funny. Um, so like after, so they have swim practice like in the morning and the afternoon. They have a shit ton of swim practice,
Hmm.
like almost every day. So after the afternoon swim practice of like that day, um, Team like waits for everybody to leave. He's like, I'm gonna drive because he gets like invited by A, B, and C to like go hang out, and he's like, no, I'm gonna hang out here and then leave. So they wait for everybody to leave so that they can like um Win and Team can carpool together because they're not telling anyone that they exist in the same universe, basically.
Uh huh. Very secret.
Yeah, but they're like standing outside by the pool, and they kiss. Um, and then Win remembers there's cameras everywhere, and like drags Team back into the lockers. And they start to hook up again, but Team clarifies that this is like a friends with benefits thing, and like they can end whenever. And Win is like, yeah, when you get bored with me, we can end this. It's fine. Um,
Hmm. But it's exciting right now, and we're in the locker room.
right. Um, because Team's like, yeah, I bet you bring like all the girls and whatever here, and Win's like, I've never brought anybody here, dude.
Yeah. It's the locker room.
Yeah. Um.
What is this, Pit Babe?
Oh no! Don't ruin the show for me.
I'm sorry. There's so much locker room shenanigans in that show.
There is. Um. One of the things about this scene though that always gets me is they slam into like the handle of the locker. Like both of them do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow.
So I think when Team does, I think he has his backpack on, but I don't think Win
Hmm.
does when they switch and like Team all of a sudden gets dominant and like flips them
Yeah.
around, and I'm like, "Oh, I bet that hurt."
I bet you got a bruise the next day.
Yeah, I had such a moment. Um so episode 3, and Team is once again avoiding swim club cuz who needs to show up for the thing I have a scholarship for?
Yeah,
Um,
right.
and he actually gets B to skip with him. Out of A, B, and C, B is the one we'll see the most. Um,
Hmm. The other two are like literally just there.
yeah. um, so B skips with him, and they're like at the basketball club instead, hanging out there. Um, and then B gives Team a ride back to like where his classroom is. And like Team goes to get there, and B is like about to leave, and he almost runs over somebody with his scooter. Which ends up being Prince. We'll meet him in like 2 seconds. Um, Team is like 2 seconds from like being in front of like the building, and sees that Win is sitting outside, like basically waiting on him because they're not in the same like the program, so there's no reason for like Win to like be hanging out outside. And so Team sees that and like runs away and jumps back on B's like scooter and goes, "Hey, I'm going to class with you today."
Yeah, he's very conflict avoidant, and there's no conflict. It's literally just a guy he's hooking up with.
Right? It's like,
But I get it though. Like,
yeah, no, for sure.
if you, I guess it's like maybe kind of weird if you're on the swim team together and you have to act like it's normal because you're not allowed to do this with someone on the swim team. And he's also just like, I don't want to deal with this right now.
Right? It's one of those like you were fine hooking up with him like 30 minutes ago, and now you have a problem being on the same team as him though. I'm like, pick.
Listen, it's fine if they're hooking up, but talking to him, oh my
Yeah.
god, don't even like we're not even gonna go there.
Yeah. So I will say, a lot of it I think is his team does like Win, and so he's just kind of
Mhm.
like trying to process and like figure out where Win actually stands on all of this,
Mhm.
because a lot of things is teams like insecurity of how Win treats him, basically.
Mhm.
He's too good.
It's too good to
um,
be true.
yeah, I do love though that he just randomly goes to B's class, because B is, I forget what major like A, B, and C have because they all have the same major. I think they might be business students. Um, and
I don't remember.
and then Prince comes into the class. So this is his first time showing up to the class. It's been like a thing of like he keeps like if he missed this class, he was gonna get like an F in the class basically. So Prince
Mhm.
is the guy that B almost ran over on the scooter. Um, and Prince is an actor. And so he has like a crazy schedule, and that is why he hasn't been to any of the classes because his manager basically won't schedule him correctly to be able to show up for school.
Mhm.
um, I hate his manager, so there's a little bit of.
Yeah,
Mm.
like literally sucks. Like
Mm-hmm.
we'll meet the manager a bit more later, but
Yeah,
just awful.
truly the worst.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those because like a lot of like Prince's thing is like he's been acting since he was like a kid, and so he
Mhm.
always has like all these brand deals and all this other stuff he's got to do, and whatever show he's filming for. Um, but I feel like if you're also gonna go to school and whatever, you can like people work around that pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Or
Usually.
yeah, or like you find a way to deal with it to the point where you can at least show up to the class you're paying for. Um, I don't know. Could be just me. What do I know?
Yeah.
I'm not an actor, but I don't know. I feel like if all the Thai BL actors can get degrees like veterinary or like electrical engineering or whatever they are and still
Mhm.
film shows and do all the other stuff they do, like I mean look at Jimmy, right? Um
Mhm.
I feel like they can make it work.
Yeah.
Better than
Probably.
Prince does.
Yeah.
So, at the afternoon swim club, again, Win calls Team out for avoiding him, and Team's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, I'm not
He's
avoiding
so
you.
bratty. I love it.
He is. I don't, I can't think of another character that's quite as bratty as he is in like the most adorable way.
Yeah, not off the top of my head,
No. Like, I know
but
there's been
it's
some, but it,
yeah, it's wonderful.
it is. Because he's so like grumpy all the time. And
Mhm.
he denies the most obvious things. Like, because Wynn's like, I know you skipped like because I think Team's like, oh, I was running late this morning or something like that, and Wynn's like, yeah, at the basketball club, and Team's just like, what? Wynn's like, I have friends. Like, friend was on the
Duh.
basketball club, and Team's like, oh. So, but after that happens, to still avoid Wynn, Team goes out drinking with A, B, and C, and then he gets like super drunk because again he's struggling with this whole thing with Win. Um,
Mhm.
but as they're walking outside, Win is out there waiting for them
Of
at the end of the
course.
night. And by them, he's there for team. A, B, and C are on their
Mhm.
own. Because Win's there with his motorcycle, and he's just like, I'm taking team home. You guys go home, get out of trouble. But A, B, and C are also like normal levels of drunk, and like team can barely stand. Um,
Yeah.
Um, so they argue for a little bit because Team's like, I don't need you to take me home, whatever. I'm not getting on this motorcycle. And Wynn's like, get on the motorcycle. Just
Yeah.
come on.
Bro, we live in the same building. Like I'm going there anyway. Just
Yeah.
get on.
I will say,
It's a
as
free
drunk,
ride.
yeah, as drunk as Team was, I don't think he should have been on a motorcycle.
No, I was gonna say that too. I was like, I would not trust someone to like hold on the back of a motorcycle like
No,
that.
no. I was stressed. The first time I watched this, I was so stressed the entire time. I'm like, how does he not fall off? Because
I know.
it literally took A, B, and C holding him up. Um,
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. He makes it safely. We did not have a motorcycle accident as a plot point, thank God. Um,
Oh God.
um, so Win takes Team to his room, and Team like passes out in the bed basically because Win was like arguing with him about like taking a shower, and Team's just like, I can't be bothered in the
Mm.
most bratty way. And so Team like passes out in bed. He immediately starts having a night terror about like kids drowning, is what we can see. We don't really at this point know what's happening. So, and like Win freaks the fuck out because like Team has very like motion heavy dream like night terrors.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't move much in my sleep, I don't think. But like
Me
Team's
neither.
like having like a full like physical like attack with this dream.
Yeah.
So Win like turns around because he's literally like feet from like the door, and he like jumps on top of Team to like wake him up and like get him out. And Team wakes up and's like, oh, I had a nightmare, but I don't remember it, which is bullshit. He remembers it.
Mm.
um, so we have that, and Win just kind of like, the fuck just happened, but okay. Um, so and now we're back at swim team, their swim club, whatever, and we find out that the clubs are having an open house in like a few months, and that the swim team is going to do a dunk tank because of course they are.
Love
Um,
it. I want to do a dunk. Well, I want to throw a ball at a dunk tank.
have you never?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I
I
don't know
have.
what like opportunity.
Yeah, there was some sort of fair, carnival, something,
Mm.
fundraiser, school thing, and I'm pretty sure I missed every ball I threw.
I 100% would, but in case I'd hit the bullseye, that would be so fun.
I, depending on who's in, if it's somebody I knew in the dunk tank, I think I would just walk up and just push it.
Yeah, that's true.
Be like, it's fine. We're just gonna
Yeah.
dunk.
You look pretty hot up there. Let's cool you
Yeah.
down a bit.
um, so they have that coming up, and there's also going to be an internal competition to decide who's going to compete at the competition against the other schools, which is also a weird concept to me.
Yeah.
Like, I, I mean, I guess it's to figure out who's like first string or whatever for the
Hmm.
team, because it's only like, I don't know who all competes on this team because we only ever see the first years competing, because they like make a point of
Yeah.
like telling the first years they should, as practice, like join the internal competition, right? Um and so they are like, do that for your practice, but then like at the competitions it's always just the first years anyway. So
Yeah, we just ignore
yeah.
details like that because it's probably not gonna make sense. But
Yeah. I mean, you do see a few like random like people on the swim club like in the background or whatever. So there's definitely like more. But
yeah,
um because it's just anytime they're having like a team meeting also there's just like a shit ton of people. So
yeah,
like I guess it makes sense to only be able to pick like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 to compete. Um
yeah. Dean is just like I'm not gonna get my hair wet this season. Like, sorry guys.
yep. I'm just here to look like a manager. Um
Yeah, he's in his captain uniform.
yeah. And then Team has his nightmare again, and every time he has this nightmare, because it's, we're gonna see it 50,000 times, you see like a little bit more of it. Um,
Hmm.
so the first time was just like glimpses of like somebody drowning in the water, and this one you see, um, like it's another kid who was like his friend or whatever, and like something about like a leg cramp, and like that's as far as we see it again. Um,
Hmm.
which means Team is not sleeping well, and so he's also not doing well at swimming at swim club. So he's like got his like worst records of timing, and he's just really slow and whatever, and he's like the number one swimmer on the team. So like he's like swim
Hmm.
god basically. um and so Wynn's like, something is clearly up with whatever this is. And so he questions Team, and he's like, how are you sleeping? And Team's like, I got 4 hours of sleep. And he's like, what time did you go to bed? And he's like, 10. And so Team, Wynn's like, oh, so you got up at 2 and just never went back to sleep? Team's like,
Hmm.
yes. And I can't say anything because I go to bed
Oh,
at 2 and get up at 6.
yeah. I was gonna say I feel like your sleep schedule is not much better.
No.
Just the opposite.
Yeah. I just intentionally stay up late to go to bed too late.
Hmm.
Which is fine. If I go to bed early, I
Yeah.
would just lay in bed and do nothing. So I might as well just watch BL. Um,
Yeah. That's true.
um. So, but after that, Wynn's like, okay, you're gonna come stay in my dorm tonight. And Team's like, oh, okay. And so they're sharing a bed. And Team starts to have another nightmare, and it wakes up Wynn because again he's like flailing a little bit. Um,
Mm.
so Wynn manages to calm him down, and he sleeps through the night. Um, and Team has no memory of having the dream actually. Um, he's like, oh,
Mm.
okay. And so they're being very playful again in the morning of Team being bratty and Win just flirting as a response. Um, so then as a thank you, Team does kiss Win in the morning though. And he's very smiley about it because Win like goes in the bathroom and Team's just all like shy and whatever afterwards. It's so
Aw.
cute.
Yeah. I'm glad he got a good night of sleep.
Right. Because,
Now we know what he needs to do to get it.
yep, he just has to sleep in the same bed as Win. But
Mm-hmm.
Win sacrificing his own sleep with that though, because I'm sure it took him a little
That's
bit.
true.
So,
Yeah,
but
if someone's like flailing, screaming next to you in their sleep, it probably wakes you
yeah,
up a bit.
yeah. So, episode 4, Win goes home to visit his family, and Juan and Wu are fighting like normal. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and Juan is playing his mobile game while he's doing that, and of course he doesn't have it on mute. So Tun hears the conversation and starts to catch everyone's names, and he's like, "Juan, Win, and Wu. That sounds familiar."
Yeah. Where have
Hmm.
I heard that? I don't know.
Yeah. So, which makes sense because it's not like Win's constantly talking about his brothers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so we get that. And then A, B, and C are working on a group project, and Prince is part of this too. When he showed up to that one class he showed up to, it's he and B teamed up. Um, so Prince shows up late to their group project, but he brings snacks. So in A and C get over it immediately because snacks are gold in this show.
Yep.
um, I don't think I mentioned it, but like literally anytime Team is doing anything, he's also eating.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime Win needs him to like do something, he's like, "I will buy you all the snacks in the world if you do this thing."
Mm. I
um,
mean, when you're a college boy and you're an athlete,
yeah,
probably need to eat a lot. So.
no, for sure. It's just really funny because it's like
Mm-hmm.
a unreasonable amount of chips that Team eats. Like he bought like 4 bags of chips, and at one point, and Win is like, "Dude," and Team's like, "This is for tonight."
No, okay, this cracks me because it's obviously a chip sponsorship, but literally constantly in the show they'll go to the store and the only thing they will buy is like 8 bags of chips. Like
But yeah,
yeah, the
no,
chips are they go crazy in the show.
there's one point I think it's coming up here in a minute, but like they go like Win and Team like go grocery shopping. Like Win is literally like, "Hey, I need to go grocery shopping. Go with me." And Team's like, "No." And then Win's like, "Yeah, I'll buy you snacks." And then they leave, and all they've bought is snacks.
Yeah.
I'm like, "What did you need to go grocery shop for? Because you clearly didn't buy it." Um,
Yeah, they're only allowed to eat chips.
yeah. Um. So anyway, Prince is doing his group project with A, B, and C. Um. And so A and C, I guess, like him now because they were like not cool with B like being friendly with Prince, but Prince like immediately was like, "I want to befriend this person." So,
Mhm.
but they're cool now because snacks. Um, and Team is in his dorm and he has another drowning nightmare, and so he wakes up and walks upstairs to Wynn's room in the middle of the night and uh asks if he can sleep there again. And Wynn is like, "You can come here anytime you want to." Um,
Mhm.
and they cuddle together this time because last time they were like separate, just next to each other.
Yeah, this is not giving friends with benefits
No,
activities, but okay.
right? They,
We won't talk about it.
yeah, because they're not dating.
Mm-mm.
um, but Win wakes Team up in the morning and has made breakfast for him because that's normal. Um, And then he bribes him with popcorn and a movie and lunch and snacks if they go to the grocery store together. This is what I was mentioning earlier. Because Wynn's like, I gotta go
Mhm.
grocery shop, go with me. And Team's just immediately like, nah, I don't want to. And Team really does not have a normal person's appetite because they literally finish breakfast and go to the grocery store. And Team like walks in and he goes, "Hey, can we eat lunch first?" And Wynn's like, "We just ate breakfast." And Team's like, "That was a snack." And
Yeah,
Wynn's is
he's like
like,
a hobbit.
"Yeah." And so they go eat, and then they go grocery shop for snacks that they immediately go eat afterwards.
Yep.
Um, But like at the grocery store, Team is literally just emptying the store's stock of their chips because he just pulls all of whatever this one chip is out and puts it all in the cart. And what kills me is like he's buying all this shit, right? And they're there in the motorcycle. Like they didn't
Yeah.
they didn't take
I
Team's
mean, chips are
car.
light.
They are, but he also comes out with a giant like popcorn bucket that's like
That's true.
the
Yeah.
size of my torso.
Yeah. They're
Um
built different with those motorcycles or scooters in Thailand.
for real.
Mhm.
So then we jump over to drama club, theater club, whatever it is, and they kind of suck, like a lot. And Manao is like going through it with dealing with all that. But Prook shows up and he's like there with food and he's trying to cheer her up because like I think Manao and some of the other like theater girls that are like set design are like, yeah, you know, obviously like our role is important because a good set is important, but like nobody knows, oh, Manao, you made that backdrop or whatever.
Mhm.
So, but Prook is like texting her and he's like, yeah, your backdrop is amazing. And also, if you look up, there's food for you. And then he is just there. Like,
Oh,
cause he's so good. He's honestly a green
so
flag too.
sweet.
Um,
Yeah.
and so they're eating and Manao's talking and whatever. And then, like, he's basically told her at this point that he's going to start pursuing her. And she is just like over the moon over it.
Mhm.
She's so
She's like.
dramatic. And they have this cute thing about like chicken legs or whatever that they keep doing, or chicken feet.
Mhm.
And so they're cute and both giggly, and she's so dramatic. It's so fucking funny. Um,
Yeah.
what kills me is so much of that is just Sammy though,
I know. It's like it's extremely Sammy.
right? Like I don't know about like the drama side of it, but like the personality of Manao is very very Sammy because she is chaos in like the best way.
Yes.
I love her.
There's one scene, and I feel like it's in Until We Meet Again, but correct me if it's in the show.
Mhm.
But where she's like running around the corner or something, and she hits the ground so fucking hard. And I watched that and I was like, bro, is she okay in real life? Like she just absolutely smacks the ground like so hard. And I had me laughing, but I was also like extremely concerned because it was too real. It was like I was like, oh, that's definitely like a like blooper that made it into the show because it was like really hard.
That was Until We Meet Again.
That was okay, yeah. I was like, I
Yeah.
think that was the other one,
Yeah.
but I just remember that scene. I remember watching it being like, oh, oh my god.
Yeah, I think Manao's character is just in general really clumsy because like her first run in
Mhm.
with Prook is literally her like slamming into him and him just catching her. Um,
Yeah.
and I think she like falls down the stairs or something too, but I think that might also be in Until We Meet Again. Um,
Yeah.
so
I just
but yeah,
remember that scene because I'm like, I'm sure she was supposed to fall. I do not think she was
not that
supposed to
hard.
fall that hard. But it made for a good shot, so
Hmm.
I'm glad they used it.
Yeah. But happy for her. She's got a good guy chasing after her now. Um,
Mhm.
so and then Win and Team are having a very cute movie night together in the dorm. Win is like, I would have taken you like to the movies, whatever. And Team's like, why go to the movies when we have movies at home? Basically, he's like, I can
Mhm.
eat all the snacks here. So he's eating all the snacks. And they're watching a movie. And Team picked a horror movie, and Win does not watch horror movies. And same. And so Win's a big old scaredy cat during it, and it's like all my one weakness. It's super
Mhm.
funny. And Team's teasing about him because, of course. Um,
Mhm.
and during all of that, Win is finally starting to realize that his feelings for Team are more than just platonic because, like, bruh, everybody else knows. Um,
Yep.
literally everybody else knows, um, besides team.
Mhm.
And so then the next school day, Win and Team go to school together on Win's bike. Um, and Team makes a comment about all the girls that have like ridden on Win's bike at this point. And Tun is like walks by and he sees them and he's like calling Win on a shit immediately about not being in a team. And Team's like
Mhm.
oblivious because like Tun's not like being super blunt about it, but he's just like, yeah, that thing you said, wrong.
Yeah, you lied to us. Like,
Yeah, like
yeah, I'm not in a team. Yeah, whatever.
yeah, and Team's just like, what?
Mhm.
But after Tun walks off, Win like looks at Team and he's like, besides you, the only person that's ridden on that seat on my bike is Whew, my younger brother. And Team's just like,
Yeah,
oh,
Team has it in his head that Win is like this big player,
yeah,
that
Be-
he's like always sleeping around, dating lots of girls, whatever. I don't know where he gets this idea, but that is like he like strongly believes that, and that's why he's like kind of tries to keep Win at a distance because he's just like, oh, I'm just another one in his harem. I'm not special. But like
yeah.
Win is just sitting there like, no,
There's
never.
nobody.
Like I've never brought any girls here. Never had any girls on my bike. Like, what are you talking about?
I think Team gets it in his head because he hears early on, like in the school year, that like all the girls are really into Win.
Mm-hmm.
And he just takes that as, oh, that means he can have this pick of whoever, and
Mm-hmm.
so that means Team just goes that because he can have his pick means he does have his pick, like that he will just do
Mm-hmm.
that instead of Win just being kind of oblivious because he's just nice to people and whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, he's got so much on his plate, like him sleeping around would be a bit much,
Yeah. You also you don't even know if Win likes girls, so
right?
I like why is this like his
Yeah.
assumption?
So yeah, like there's been no signs of that. Like it's not like girls are like always around him. It just he happens to be popular because he's very attractive and a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it
Yeah.
makes sense. Um,
So it's just funny how like Team just jumps to conclusions.
yeah, he does that a lot,
Yeah,
especially about
he
Win.
does. Yeah.
Um, and it's funny because both friend groups now. So Dean and like Prook and Tun are like Win's friend group, and then you have Parman like Manao. Uh and like and team like another as
Mm-hmm.
another friend group. And so both friend groups are starting to give like Dean and Parm a really hard time about how much they're hanging out together. Um and so that's happening, but more relevant to until we meet again, to be honest. Um
Mm-hmm.
and so now the swim team is planning yet another trip to go to Wynn's family resort because Wynn's family is loaded as shit.
Oh yeah.
Like obscene amount of money. Um
Yeah. They have this like big, nice resort. I'm super jealous.
They have multiple resorts, really. Um,
Yeah. So now Win not only is this really handsome, nice guy, he's also fucking loaded.
yeah, it's but he's like chill about it too. Like you wouldn't
Hmm.
know, right?
Yeah.
He's truly perfect and like
He's pretty well adjusted,
yeah,
all things considered. He's just like a little bad at like voicing his emotions,
yeah,
but like not that bad, and it only becomes an issue like towards the end when, you know,
yeah.
we get there. But
Um, so the plan for this trip is if they do good at that competition, that the swim team has, then they'll go as kind of like a celebration to Wynn's like family's resort, whatever. And Dean's like, hey, since we're an odd number, can I bring Parm?
no reason. I know he's not on the swim team, but like
Yeah.
it would
I'll,
be convenient for us if he came, right?
right? Like, I'll pay for him out of my own pocket. And everyone's like, so you're not dating?
Yeah. Like
So,
he can come, just like tell, you know,
yeah. Everybody's fine with
what
it.
are you guys?
Yeah. And then, like, in the meantime, Dean is also, like, telling Win he needs to be clear with team. Um,
Hmm.
he's like, you need
I
a,
love this scene.
because it's like, you need to, like, whatever's going on with you two, you need to like be clear about it because otherwise team's gonna like be misled. Because Win the entire time is just like, we're not together. I don't want to be together. Whatever. It's just whatever we are now is fine.
Mhm.
So I think it's just so again, it's like Win's like friend group sitting around, and Win just admits he's like, yeah, we already had sex, just outright,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay,
And his friends are like I don't think his friends knew that.
no,
I think they were just like, oh, they have this like weird thing, like maybe clarify it before it becomes more. And
yeah,
Win was like, yeah, we've slept together. Actually, that was the very first thing we did.
yeah,
Um, but I promise, like I'm not like messing with him.
yeah,
And
like
his friends are just like, like shocked face. They're just like, okay,
yeah,
didn't know that info, but now
yeah,
you really need to
yeah.
make sure things are clear.
Yeah, because Wynn's like, yeah, we slept together, and I didn't mean for things to like happen the way they did. But honestly, like, I'm happy with like where we are right now. Like, it's fine. And like, teams like eavesdropping on this. I think he was gonna like walk because they're at like the offices at like the swim club, and I think team was gonna like come in for something, and he hears like that part, and then like walks away before he hears like all of the whole thing, and
Mm-hmm.
Wynn basically says he loves team, like not like I'm in love with you love, but like positive feelings, I guess. Um
Mm-hmm.
so he misses like the end of that. And so like team's a little like, oh okay, this isn't gonna go anywhere. Like
Mm-hmm.
further establishing that like this is it. Like this is as far as our relationship is gonna go, is whatever we are right now. Of I spend some nights at his place and I guess every once in a while they have sex.
Mm-hmm.
And so team then goes to Parm and they have a talk about love and what is love because team's never been in love and Parm's whatever with Dean at this point. Um, so Parm
Mm-hmm.
has the more experience in the topic as far as team can figure out. And team's like, I think this is a one-sided love. I don't know, you know. Um, and so like team's trying to process his one-sided love that's not one-sided. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, lack of communication. Yay.
Yay.
Um, and Parm more or less guesses that Team is in love with Win, right? Um, it's, I mean, hey, if my friend comes up to me after hanging out with one guy constantly and going, "Hey, I think I'm in a one-sided like thing right now," I would also be like, "Yeah, it's that one."
Yeah. It's pretty obvious.
um, but like as they're talking, Win shows up as he does, to take Team home.
Mm-hmm.
um, so in episode 5, because they're not dating. Win is starting to pick up on some of like Team's habits and interests. It's so funny. Win is like snacking. Win doesn't snack, and so
Mm-hmm.
he's like snacking at like the swim club, and everyone's like his whole friend group is like, "What's wrong with you?" And he's like, "I." They're like, everybody knows Team's habit, and so they're all like, "This is Team's doing." Win's like,
Yeah.
"Nah." And Team also has like a song that he was listening to a lot, and he had it on repeat because I guess Win liked it, but Win also has had it now stuck in his head when he doesn't listen to music that often. So like they're intermeshing in this way now.
Mm-hmm. As couples do.
Mm-hmm. And so then we run into A, B, and C again, and they're waiting on Team to go help with some stuff from like swim club. And they run into Prince, who's like walking on campus, and he's like super tired, and he clearly needs a break. And like fans have come up to ask for like photos or whatever, and B's like, I need to rescue this kid. Um, so B's like, okay, whatever's going on in the swim club, you guys can handle it without me. I am gonna leave with Prince now. So B then takes Prince to the dorm to like his dorm again to like let him nap for a little bit. And Prince is so adorable about this because B's like, yeah, just go lay in the bed, it's fine. And Prince is like, I am gross with outdoor stuff. I need a shower, so I'm gonna go on this couch. And this couch is like this big, like he's like curled up in like a
Mm-hmm.
ball to fit on it. Um, but it's cute. But
Mm-hmm.
like B is so weird about this because B is like a foot away from this kid's face and is just staring at him
Yeah.
while he's trying to
I met
sleep.
you just like imagine if you woke up then and someone is just like
just like
Jump scare.
for real, it's like back away a little bit.
Yeah.
Which he does after he's got his fill of being 5 inches away from Prince's face. He like sits on the floor and like leans against his bed, and like he also ends up falling asleep watching Prince sleep. Um,
Which is also funny. Like, imagine you wake up and then your friend is just like, they're sleeping, but they're just sitting, like, facing you.
yeah, a bunch of weirdos, but they're adorable. It's
Yeah.
fine. And
Yep.
and so Prince takes the blanket that like B had put on him and now puts it on B. So
Mm.
they're both being cute. Yay.
Mhm.
Um, and then we jump back to Team, and he's thinking about his friend in the pool again, the one with the drowning and leg cramp and whatever. And he calls his mom, and they talk about Team coming home, and she's like, "Yeah, you should come home. Your brother probably misses you too." Um, and then after the call, he cries and worries about if his like brother was still mad at him. And so it's P, so it's not like biological brother necessarily at this point, because
Mhm.
we'll find out. Team's an only child, and this friend is actually cousin, but you don't find out until like the very end that he was a cousin. It just wasn't like explained. Um,
Mhm.
so clearly something has happened with this cousin, and for him to be mad, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so that night, or I guess whatever, Team goes to Wynn's room to go sleep, and instead of knocking, for some reason, he just immediately just checks to see if the door's unlocked. Um, like it's
Uh, and it is.
Yeah, I mean it is. So his thought process was right. So he just goes in, um,
Mhm.
and he gets in bed with Win, and Win like wakes up, and Team's just like, "You did you leave it unlocked for me intentionally?" And Win's just like, "Yeah, I did. I told you to come in whenever."
Oh, to be a man.
Right. Um, and then at that point they're having like a little moment, and then Team asks Win not to have anyone else until Team is like better from his nightmares. My heart.
Mhm.
And Wynn's like, okay, I won't have anyone else until Team is better, or if you find someone, or if you get bored of me, basically. Um, and Team is like, are you asking to be boyfriends? and, and Wynn's just like, what would your answer be if I was? Question mark.
Yeah.
And
Feeling it out.
right, and then instead of answering, Team asks if he meant to ask for them to be boyfriends, and then Wynn just doesn't say anything, and so they just don't acknowledge it. So they're still not dating because they don't talk.
Oof. So close.
Right?
It's
We
hard because
almost
it's mostly just Team like sabotaging himself a lot of times. It's just like him assuming that Win doesn't want this. So
Yeah,
he doesn't want to take the step to do it. And then Win is probably like, oh well, this is the guy who keeps like he's the one who keeps saying that we're only friends with benefits, whatever. So I guess like he doesn't want that, so I'm not gonna ask him. Like they both kind of think that about each other.
I'll say Win is hesitant because Win says nobody's ever been important to him. He's never had anything important, right? So he keeps
Mm,
that wall up with people. It just that wall has been
yeah.
chiseled away by Team without I think either of them realizing it.
Mm,
So I think Win would have accepted that they were like dating if like as boyfriends if Team had said yes. Um
yeah.
but I don't think that was his intention either. Like I don't think he's ready for a relationship either, but it's just one of those of
Mhm.
fine to make you happy whatever type of a thing. Um
Mm,
so I think the issue is both of them very much.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Um cuz the next morning they're kind of awkward a little bit, and when um basically says like he meant what he said the night before of like I'll be with you until you get bored of me. um he just needs more time, so basically he needs to figure himself out more or less before he like puts a label on it.
Mhm.
Because I think Team was a little put out by the lack of response. um
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, so then we jump over to Juan, who is just getting home in the morning from working all night. Um, and his dad comes in, like he talks to Woo because we was like getting ready for school or whatever, and their dad like walks in and just is like, "Oh, you're just now getting in? Must be fun, like great having like fun all night and not, doing your work when like the resorts need you and whatever." And like just choose him out and like want and like Woo like tries to like defend Juan and his dad just like, "No, you need to shut up." And just dad sucks. Um,
Shut up, dude.
right? Cuz the dad telling Woo to like shut up escalates things between Juan and his dad because Juan's just like, don't talk to him like that, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so then Juan just storms off. And then at that point, Woo like looks at the dad and was like, Juan was working the entire time. Like, what the fuck is your problem? And so they argue. Because dad's
Mm-hmm.
like deer in the headlights when it's like, oh, my son was actually doing the thing I was yelling at him not doing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but after that, Juan ends up going to school to see Win, and they chat about their dad. And they're kind of talking through like the bullshit, whatever, because this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, their dad like really thinks Juan is like a lazy fuck up, good for nothing. And he's
Right?
just like normal. He's just like works and
Yeah,
then plays games when he comes home. So,
yeah. Like he
but it's
works
not
really
like he's
hard too.
unemployed.
No, like I mean, he works for the resort. It just his dad
Mm-hmm.
doesn't pay attention, and I guess like I think he was gonna be like the main person behind the resort afterwards. So he's supposed to like take over, and their dad's like, I shouldn't have given it to you. You're gonna fail at this type of thing. And Juan's like, I don't know what else you want me to do. Um,
Yeah, it's very like self-fulfilling prophecy. Like if the
mhm.
dad thinks he's going to fail, then he's just going to like treat him like shit until Juan
Yeah.
doesn't want to do it anymore basically.
Mhm. So while Juan and Win are talking, Twin shows up, and Win like introduces them. And this is where Tun realizes that Juan is who he's been playing the mobile game with this entire time,
Mhm.
and he's just like, oh. um,
Mm.
does not say anything at this point though. I think he stays quiet for the moment. Um,
Yeah.
and Parm and team were gonna spend the night together that night, but like Dean shows up and is like, "Hey, can I take you to dinner?" And Parm's like, "I had plans," and team's like, "No, go bye, have fun, see you later." Um,
Mhm.
and like that night, Twin is like playing the mobile game with Juan, and Twin is like right about to be like, "Hey, by the way, I'm Win's friend," but like
Mhm.
Juan finally like opens up to Tun and about like family problems and stuff like that because like Tun's like been trying to like connect with him for a while because Tun's got some feelings going on. And
Mhm.
because Juan has finally opened up and has somebody to talk to, because that's the thing he knows is like he doesn't really talk to anyone about his problems. So Tun's like, actually, it's better if I just keep my mouth shut so that he has like this outlet still. So that's what he
Mhm.
does. He keeps his mouth shut. And honestly, I'd probably do the same. Um,
Yeah. I thought that's like not the time.
yeah. And then team does the dumbest fucking thing ever. Um,
Oh my god, team.
so competition's coming up, right? The swim team has the night off, so the club is closed. Nobody's supposed to go. That was why like team was gonna go home with Parm, whatever. Um, team goes to the pool and goes to practice alone at the damn pool. Um,
Like sneaks into the pool.
yeah, but turns the light on, so it's super obvious somebody's
Yeah.
whatever. And then he gets a
But he's
leg.
not allowed to be there.
Yeah, no, like very much not. Which you should never swim alone, right? You should always have somebody there in case something happens. Especially when you're doing something like what he's doing. And so
Mm.
naturally in the pool, he gets a leg cramp and like sinks straight to the bottom. And that is how episode 5 ends.
Yeah, it's basically like mirrors his nightmare he's been having.
Yeah. Um I will say I think him sinking to the bottom has to be some sort of like trauma response because I've gotten
Mm.
a leg cramp in the pool and didn't need rescuing.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like a thing. I feel like this was only like a thing in like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
but I don't know. It might also be trauma response because like the last time this happened, it didn't end
Yeah.
well. So,
Yeah, because I mean, I
but
get.
I too. I was like, just use your arms and other leg
Yeah,
and
I
kick.
mean, like I get having issues and like flailing around and like whatever, but he just straight up
Hmm.
just goes straight to the bottom and like doesn't even try.
Yeah, and he's also like the best swimmer on their college swim team. So,
Yeah.
if anyone should be able to figure it out,
Right? Like
should have been him.
I that's where I think it's a trauma response and where he just panics and just
Hmm.
shuts down, right?
Yeah.
Because like the pool has lanes. All he had to do was like reach over and grab like a rope and like hold on
Hmm.
to it.
Hmm.
And like should have been fine at that point to like pull himself somewhere to get out and stretch out the cramp. But whatever, it's fine. Instead,
Hmm.
instead we're just gonna traumatize Win is what we're gonna do,
Yeah, who fortunately, good thing he's a stalker.
right? Well, he wasn't. Yeah, he happens to always be around team. Um,
Yeah, he's not actually a stalker, but like,
no,
when like a show has everything just kind of relies on coincidence.
yeah,
And it's like, okay, just like, suspension of disbelief, but it is funny to just, instead of doing that, just to be like, oh, this character was actually a stalker the whole time.
yeah,
And that's why.
yeah. This really isn't a comfort show. This is a trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Here's our
Uh,
green flag.
so when we find out like later, I think that like Win set Dean up to like go interrupt Dean and Parm like Parm and Team's plans and like go steal away Parm, and so that Win
Mm-hmm.
could like hang out with Team that night. Um, I think probably to help him sleep that night was the original plan. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he happens to be at school and like walks by and sees the lights on at the pool. Um, and so he goes to check and see why the lights are on at the pool, and that's where he happens to walk in like right as the time his team starts drowning. And
Mm-hmm.
he jumps in fully clothed straight into the water and like saves team, and then yells at him for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. It's really intense.
It's such an emotionally intense scene. That had to have been such a hard scene for them to film because they're both like sobbing. Because
Yeah.
at first, when Team is like sitting on the ground, whatever, and he's just trying to like blow it off the way he does everything else. He's like, "I'm fine. It's not a big deal. Like, why are you so upset?" And Win is like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you almost died. If
Mm-hmm.
I was here like any later, if I'd have been too late, I'd have just found your fucking body. Like, do you realize
Yeah.
how close to death you were right now? Like, completely losing it."
Yeah. I honestly was kind of surprised how serious they took it in the show.
Hmm.
Because I feel like most of the show has been pretty lighthearted.
Yeah.
And then you get to this scene, and it's like, okay, I've seen drowning scenes in pretty much every other BL I've ever seen.
Hmm.
But they always kind of just like brush it off or whatever. But like this one is like, it's serious and it's scary. And
Yeah.
like you can just see how both of them realize just how lucky they are
Hmm.
that team is still alive. And I'm like, okay, this is like really impactful actually, because
Yeah.
yeah, they really like, that was a really close call.
It was, and I think this is also another step of Win starting to realize how important team is to him because he's like, my heart almost shredded is one of the things he says, and like he
Mm-hmm.
says that later when he's talking to Dean again. That the exact phrase comes up where it's like that team is now somebody important to me. So as much as he said I've
Mm-hmm.
never had anything important in my life, team is now important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um Yeah, so they yell, and there's like a kiss in there at some point, I think. There's also, I thought this was really funny. I learned this recently. I think this is the scene because it's the only one that makes sense for it. But Boone was supposed to hit Dean or hit Prem in the scene because at one point he pulls back like he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna punch him, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the original script was that he does hit him, but
Mm.
Boone cannot hit Prem because
Yeah.
like their relationship, whether it's friends, dating, whatever, I don't know, not my business, but they're so close, and like Boone is so protective over Prem just in real life, like outside of like shows and whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he couldn't hit Prem just makes my heart melt.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
mean,
I
it's probably for the best too, like show wise, like,
Yeah.
But
But I honestly think him holding back is more impactful anyway than if he'd have hit
mhm.
Prem. Like if when like struggling with like figuring out how to release the emotions he's having right now and he just wants to like
Mhm.
punch Team for being fucking stupid and then just holding back because he cares about him so much. It just I think it would have hit better than him like just punching him at that moment.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I heard that and I was like, "Oh, poor Boone."
Like I can't do it.
Yeah. 'Cause
I can't even pretend.
I bet getting in character and filming that scene sucked for them, to be honest.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like emotionally draining just watching.
Yeah. That is definitely one of the hardest scenes to watch in the show. Because there's
Yeah.
that one and then the first time that they're at the grave, I think are the two hardest ones for me.
Mm.
Um
Mhm.
so they leave after they're done yelling, and Win ends up taking Team back to his house instead of the dorm. And like Team's like been kind of asleep in the car. Um and so Team's like, "Where are we?" And Win's just like, "My house. Get out." And so
Mm.
like the rest of the night they're super dramatic about the whole drowning thing like the entire time. And like they're both like weird with each other. Um but also like Wayne goes and gets like a some water. Like I don't know what the point of that was, but like he gets like a bucket and some water to like put on like the leg cramp or whatever. But I don't know about you, I get leg cramps a lot. I have like a issue with that. Um,
Mm.
water on in a cloth isn't gonna do anything for that at all. Like
Is it just like
nothing.
hot water or something?
I
Like try
guess.
to,
Yeah, I don't know. Does
yeah,
nothing for
relax
me.
the muscles. Mm.
For me, the only thing I can do is literally just stretch it out, and like it
Mm.
sucks. It's so painful. Um,
Yeah. I've only gotten a leg cramp like once and it was terrible and I was like, hope I never have that happen again.
oh, I get them in my sleep a lot, and my
Yeah.
mom. I think it's whatever causes them for us is like genetic, because my mom gets them a lot. Um,
Yeah. I have a couple friends who also they're like they'll be like, "Yeah, I had another Charlie horse this morning." I'll
yeah,
be like, "Oh,
it
sorry."
they suck a lot. I don't get
Mhm.
them nearly as much as like my mom does, but it's rough. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, because like he like struggles to like walk after that, and I'm like, yeah, same,
Mhm.
feel it, definitely feel it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so they're dramatic about that, but then they go to bed. Also, haven't mentioned it at this point. Wynn's house is Payu's house from Love in the Air.
Yeah. And like everyone else's house, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I just since that was the first show I watched, that's where I associate it with. Even though like you see more of the
uh
house in this than I think like any other show.
Probably.
And cuz it's actually Juan's room that is Payu's room too. Um,
Oh, okay, that
yeah.
makes sense. The
Yeah.
rooms just aren't as notable as the scary staircase.
Yeah, that there's one point where we was like running up it. It's actually like the scene cuz he like in the morning we was like downstairs and like there's all of a sudden there's like all these dishes on the table and like he's talking to like their maid or whatever or the cook and he's like, okay, nobody's here. What's with all this? And she's like, oh, Win and his friend came like the night before. And so he takes off running and like runs up the stairs and like slides a little as he's like turning and like goes up the other way. And then it's so cute. It's so weird to associate this with Santa because he really plays like young like high schooler so well.
Mhm.
But he like gets so excited that Win's home because he just loves his older brothers, right? And he like jumps on the bed and you can only see Win, but Team is like under the blankets, like buried under there. So Woo jumps on both of them without knowing it, and he feels it and is immediately like, "Wait, what?" And like just Team's
Uh
like head pops up from under the blanket, and he's like, "Who's that?"
What a way to meet the fam.
And so when Woo and Team immediately like best friends though, like they're at like
Mm.
breakfast together talking, and Woo's like, hey, Win, can you come home for the weekend? Whatever, I'm so lonely, whatever, because Woo's home alone a lot, because everybody's busy working or at school, um, and Woo's like. Team, you should also come. And Team's like, uh-huh. And he's like, I have a bunch of Gundam like figurines or whatever. And Win's trying to be like, he's an adult. He doesn't, and like before he can even finish, Team's like, I love Gundam. He's like, I
Uh,
have a bunch of them. I just didn't bring them to college. And Winch is like, are you kidding me? It's so funny.
yeah.
It is so cute.
Mhm.
So then we're at swim club again, and Win and Dean are talking, and Win had Dean delete the CCTV so that Team doesn't get in trouble for breaking the rules, and because he would have gotten like suspended and kicked off the team if he had
Yeah,
gotten
and
caught.
that's a scholarship.
Yeah.
So.
So there's that, and then like if he'd been caught with that, and also he almost died, right? So everybody's still like
Mhm.
freaked out about that, because even like Dean's freaked out about that now,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Bruh."
Mm.
um, and Win kind of like crashes out a little bit during all this talk, because he's like talking to Dean, and he's like, "I hate that I care." And he's like, "I hate that I have to worry about losing someone now." He's like,
Mhm.
and he literally goes like, "I don't want to love anyone." Like he's so just like averse to like having feelings.
Yeah.
um, he's so stressed out about it that he actually like leaves this like the swim club before, and like misses like team like competing basically. Um,
Well, it's hard when the person that you care about losing just like
did the dumbest thing ever,
stupid and almost killed themselves. Yeah.
right? Yeah, no,
Like very valid.
yeah, the crash out was super valid. It was also one of those of like,
Mm.
you need to just accept that you care about this kid, but like,
Yeah. Also, like you can't go through your whole life just never caring about anyone because you're afraid to lose them.
right? Which is such a
Like you
bullshit thing
could, but it's
anyway. Like he
sad and
cares about his
lonely.
family.
Yeah, I know.
So
That's the thing. When he's like, I have nothing I care about, it's like, okay, well, your brothers adore you, so
yeah,
at least your younger brother does. Your older one, you guys are friends.
yeah,
Hopefully, you also like care about them. I
yeah.
don't know.
They have a weird relationship, but I think it's their way of caring.
Mhm.
Because Juan is also just kind of super reserved and doesn't tell anyone about his problems, and he just tries to power through.
Yeah.
Win is very middle child of trying to keep the peace of everybody,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
make everything. He's very very stereotypical like middle child,
Mhm.
and but yeah, he's having a crisis of like dealing with the fact that he cares about team.
Yeah.
um, but Prince shows up to the swim practice just to watch B, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm just here for this," and B's like, "Oh, you didn't have to come just for this. I know you have a busy schedule." And Prince is like, "Oh, you didn't want me to come?" And he's like, "No, no, no, no. I just don't want to be a bother when you don't get a break."
Yeah.
um, so then Win goes to a bar with Juan and Tun to sulk about love. Because
Mhm.
it's a very common thing they do is anytime they like stressed about having feelings, they all go to the bar. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, Wynn's just like, what is love? More or less. And
I wanna know, no, no, no. What is love?
and at one point Wynn I guess got up to like go to the bathroom, but then he just left. And then just texts Juan and goes, "Hey, I'm gone."
Mhm.
And so Juan's like,
Love that move.
right, that's so funny. And so Juan gets a text and he like looks at Tun and he's like, so Win just left, so I guess we should leave too. And Tun's like, no, no, like let's talk. And
Mhm.
they talk a little bit, and Juan tells Tun about like his gaming friend all of a sudden. And he's
Mhm.
like, I really like him, and I like that I can open up to him because like Tun's like, you can talk to me about your problems, and that's where like Juan is like, no, I have somebody, it's fine. Um, and
This is where you admit you're the same person, I think. Like if you let it go longer than this, it's
okay,
weird.
I think he was going to, but he
Mhm.
asks, would you ever want to meet that friend in person?
Oh, right.
And Juan goes, no, I don't want to meet him in person. It's better that I just have basically like a faceless person to talk to. S-
I
At that,
get it, but also don't even ask that question.
yeah.
Just
'Cause
tell
honestly,
him.
knowing that though, I would take it to the grave.
Yeah, I mean, after that, that's fair. You just have to like, you just have to keep up this charade though
Yeah.
forever, I guess, now. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I would take it to the grave at this point.
Mm.
Um but yeah, it's awkward cuz Twin definitely has like feelings. And so
Mm.
but yeah, I don't know that I would have asked either. I think I'd have been like, yeah, so now that Win is gone, by the way, that gaming friend you have is me. Like I
Yeah.
hi, sorry, I didn't know how to approach it before. Um
Yeah. I think once you realize that you are going to be meeting up with this person in real life, probably from now on,
yeah.
I think you kind of have to tell them. Otherwise, like, if you get, I mean, what happens if you get 5 years down the road? Then it's like really fucked up, you
Right?
know?
It's like,
So,
yeah, I've known this entire time and it's like, okay, you let me talk about my family problems when you know my family. Are you
mm-hmm.
serious right now?
Yeah.
Um but interestingly enough, after that, Tun actually goes home with Juan to the family house because he like forgot his dorm card or something so he can't get in the building. So Juan like lets him go home and they end up sharing a bed too because
Mm.
Tun was gonna take the couch, but like the maid or whatever like took the blankets to wash, so they didn't have extra ones. And Tun's like super excited to like share a bed with Juan. It's so fucking funny because like it's not like they're cuddled up; it's a giant ass bed.
Mm.
Um, and like Juan like gets on like his phone to like play his mobile game, and he's like, "My friend's not on. He's supposed to be on tonight." And Tun's like, "It's late. Maybe he went to bed."
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
um, but yeah. And then Team is at his dorm, and he has another nightmare. And he goes up to Win's room, but the door's locked, and he knocks, and Win isn't there. So then he just sits down at the door,
Aw.
and he ends up falling asleep. So
In the hallway.
right, and episode 7 starts with Team having his nightmare about his friend Ton, who's actually his cousin, drowning after saving Team from a leg cramp in the pool. So we get kind of more of the story, if not the full story at this point. So basically, they went swimming together, and Team got his leg cramp, and Ton had to save him because he was like flailing around in the middle of the pool. But I guess in the process, like Team like ends up like more or less pushing him into the water in the panic, and Tun drowns from that. Um,
That's so sad.
it really is, but like they were also
Mm.
like little kids, like
Yeah.
like younger than 10, I would say. I don't know exactly how old. I have a hard time with ages, um,
Yeah. Me too.
but um, Tun is older than Team though by 2 years. Same as Win.
Hmm.
So Team is having that nightmare, and Win happens to come home around this time, and he's like kind of meandering down the hallway, like kind of lost in thought. And he sees Team at his door, and he like takes off running. Is just kind of like, the fuck are you doing here? Um, and because like he sees he's clearly having a nightmare, so he wakes him up, and like takes him inside. And Win has like a full on meltdown over
Mm.
breaking his promise to like always be there for Team or whatever since he like vanished, and Team's just kind of like, you're fine, it's fine, it's
Yeah.
just a nightmare, we're good.
It's not that
Like
serious.
right, like because like Win is like lost it over this, like he is
Mm.
freaked out, and Team's like, I'm just here to sleep, thank you. Like in tiny.
Yeah.
um and then Win like decided that he's not gonna disappear anymore. So like he's just gonna always be there for Team. Like cool, okay, good job,
Never gonna leave my room.
right? Um, so now we're at that open house day at the university, where the swim team is having their dunk tank. Um, and Juan like drops Wheel off at the to go like explore the different clubs and whatever to because Win wanted him there to like see the university and like get a kind of a feel and maybe an idea for what he wants to do because Juan and Win both went into business majors because they were gonna have to take care of the resort, but they just want team not team Ryu to do whatever he wants. Like if he doesn't have to follow them in doing the resort if he wants to actually go do something else, whereas they feel like they didn't have a choice in the matter. Um, and so Win tries to like put Ryu in, like into Team's care to like go have a tour of the campus, but Team being the king of snacking is like, hey, we're just gonna go hang out at the cooking club, and so that's what they do, and they just eat for like 2 hours at the cooking club.
Nice.
Great job. And Juan is like kind of lingering around campus a little bit, and Tun finds him, and so then they hang out again. Um, and like Juan makes like this like offhanded comment of like he feels like he's known Tun for like longer than he has, and like his voice sounds familiar, but like doesn't go further than that. And it's like there's another opening, dude.
Yeah, there it is. Take that chance.
Yeah, but of course he doesn't.
Mm.
Um, and then over at the dunk tank, B is in the dunk tank. And Prince shows up, uh, and to like tease him in the dunk tank or whatever and see what's up. And this is where we finally meet like Prince's manager, because his
Mm-hmm.
manager shows up while he's hanging out at the open house stuff and like chews him out, and he's like, you said you needed rest and I gave you time on your schedule to rest, and instead you're here at this school function. And Prince is like, I just want to be a normal college kid for like 10
Yeah,
minutes
having fun and going to a festival is rest.
Yeah.
Like doing something fun with your friends is relaxing, even if you're not
Mm-hmm.
just like laying in bed.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like the manager's like going in on him, and manager's like also going in on him over like being friends with B, and he's like, and about like Prince maybe having feelings for him. Um, and Prince is like, yeah, what if I do? Like, like maybe I do.
Mm.
I don't know. Whatever. And B's eavesdropping because of course he is. Um, but when Prince and B end up talking afterwards, Prince knows that he was eavesdropping and that he heard everything. So like it's fine. It's not weird.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in like this weird we want to be friends, but my manager sucks type of a thing going on.
Yeah.
Um and then Win and Team are walking around campus now that they've dropped off Wu back with Juan to leave. And like some people walk by that are like super homophobic and talking shit about Dean being gay and being like the president of like the swim team. And like Team immediately is like, I'm gonna go beat the shit out of them. He's like ready to fight just
Love
immediately.
that energy.
He's like, how
Gonna
dare you?
swing on him.
And like Win has to literally drag him away and like give
Mm-hmm.
him a talk of like it's not gonna do any good. Like you can fight and whatever, and you're just gonna get in trouble, and they're gonna keep having their shitty opinions. And like Dean knows people have those opinions, and Dean doesn't care, so like it's fine. Like Dean is stronger than that basically. And Win's just like, it's not fair.
Yeah. And it's also not just about Dean, it's about you guys as well. Like
Yeah,
our relationship.
yeah. So, but they're like, just ignore the haters. Basically, is what Win's trying to say. and
Yeah.
Team just really loves both Parm and Dean. Like Dean definitely has a soft spot for Team too, um,
Mm-hmm.
where it's one of those of like worried about him with whatever the fuck Win is doing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, so then part of the swim team, which I think was like ABC team and maybe Win, I think. And maybe like a couple others go drinking at a bar, which happens to be the bar from Only Friends. Um,
Yeah. Love that bar.
yeah. So they all go drinking there, which is like the main one that you see. Anytime team is going drinking, I think is that bar. Um, so, but B is sulking because he doesn't know like entirely what his feelings for Prince are. Because I think he's another one of those who never really thought about whether or not he's gay. Like he's
Mm.
cool with it, but like also he's just kind of like, what are feelings?
You never think about it till it happens to you.
And the other ones around are like telling him that like being unsure of like feelings can ruin like a relationship, So Win and team both get hella awkward about that.
Yeah.
Uh, they're both like, I'm not part of this discussion. Thank
I,
you.
I have selective hearing right now.
Right? Team's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Thank you. Bye. And that's where he goes into the bathroom. And then like Win follows him to the bathroom because that's not obvious. Um, and they have like a moment where Win like kisses him and then pushes him into one of the stalls and they have sex in the stall, I guess. Um,
It really is the Only Friends
it is.
bar bathroom. That bathroom's so iconic, honestly.
It really is
The
because
tiling.
I don't think I recognized the bar until we got to the bathroom and I was like, hey, I know that
Me
place.
too. Yeah. No, same. I was like, I've seen a lot of shit go down in this bathroom.
Yep.
I'm about to see a little bit more.
um, so a little later, Win shows up at Team's dorm room to tutor him in English. His team sucks at English apparently. At one point, like Parm was like teach like his tutor, and Parm was like, "Why don't you ask Win? Win's like way better at English than I."
Uh,
Team's like, "No."
Plus, you can spend more time together.
Yeah. So
Maybe
Win,
figure some things out.
yeah, you maybe. So, but yeah, so Win shows up because he's basically just decided he's gonna tutor team. He's like, you need help. Your grades suck. You
Mm.
need better grades for scholarship. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then team's like, I don't have any money to pay you though. And the Win's like, yeah, the only thing I want is this, and then like gives him a forehead kiss. He's like, that's the only payment. And here we
Pretty
go
good
again,
deal.
where team's like, is that your payment for everybody that you tutor? And Win's like,
Yeah,
no.
man.
Yeah,
What kind of guy do you think I am? Come on.
right? Again, it's all the girls that you tutor, and Win's like, I don't charge anyone else anything.
Have
It's
you
just
ever
you,
seen me talk to a girl in my entire life?
right?
I don't think he has.
No. This is definitely one of the shows where I think the only girl in the show really is Manal.
She Yeah, I mean, Until We Meet Again had Parm's like cooking club friends.
Yeah.
Like he has a couple girls that he chats with there. Like
Mhm.
Until We Meet Again passes the Bechdel test. Between us, definitely does not.
No, I
But it's okay.
the only time I can think of like women being around like any other girls that aren't like moms or whatever is
Mm,
the one time that Manal is talking to the rest of like the two other girls in the
drama
theater club.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um
that is probably the only other time.
everyone else it's all guys and everybody's gay.
Yeah. Why not, you know?
Yeah. Um so then so we have that where the payment for tutoring is now forehead kisses. Um and B is now going through it with his feelings for Prince, where he's like excited and nervous and whatever, and like he calls Prince, and I guess some photos had like leaked of like B and Prince like on B's scooter when he had rescued him to go take a nap or whatever. And Prince is like, or B's like, did that cause you problems? And Prince is like, is somebody bothering you? Like, are you okay?
Mm,
And B's like, no, 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 I'm fine. I was just, curious if like that was an issue or inappropriate or whatever. And then like panics and like basically just hangs up on him. And then like thinks about it and calls him back. And he's like, hey, actually, can I be in your life? Um, so they're not like dating, but they're something, right? Because
mhm.
they're like, okay, we're gonna be cute together now.
Yeah. They
um,
they figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah. And Parm and Manao are now teasing Team because they're like, "Oh, you guys were up late. You and Team and Win because Win was tutoring you." And Team's like, "How did you know that?" And it's Win posted a photo of Team sleeping on Instagram. So, it's
Yeah.
also very forward and public of him to do that. Um
Yeah. And doesn't he like not have much else on there?
yeah, I probably not. Um Which I think his like Instagram handle was also like win the pool or something like that. And I was like, okay.
Sure.
um and then Win and team are in Win's room now and they're talking about like red string theory and like fate and stuff like that, which I think that conversation actually happened in until we meet again, because I don't remember them
Yeah.
talking about it. Just all of a sudden they're like, yeah, like Parm was talking about red string theory, whatever, and Wynn's like,
Mhm.
yeah, he's so literal with things because he's like, a red string is like too fragile and it's gonna break. And Team's like, you're so unromantic, dude. Um,
Yeah, come on. You haven't heard about this?
yeah, and
Yeah, definitely ties in better, or like it's a tie into until we
mm,
meet again.
yeah, and Wynn's like, what we need is this, and he pulls out like a hemp rope, like something much sturdier than a red string, and he's like, this is what we would need between the two of us. And it's like, oh, so now we have you two talking about red string theory, okay? And you're
Except it's
still not together,
hemp rope. It's hemp
right?
rope theory now.
But they're still not together. They're still just
Mm-mm.
whatever they are.
Yeah.
Um. So, but then later, Win and Team they go back to Win's house again, and they're hanging out with Wu because he's always home alone. Um, and then like their dad walks up, and like as soon as he gets there, he starts bitching about Juan for like not being home and whatever.
Come
And
on, dude.
right, and we was like, he's fucking working, dude. Like, what is your problem?
This the show goes really into like the child birth placement stereotypes, like whereas because Juan is just like oldest child and also has like all of the pressure and expectations of the
Yes.
world on his shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and Win is very, mediate. He's like kind of just there, and then the youngest brother is just like
Babied.
does, yeah,
Baby.
and also kind of just like does whatever he wants. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So with this argument happening though, team Win tells Team to take Wii outside so Win can like talk with his dad, and Wii opens up to Team about like how their family used to be before this resort, because like growing up when they were all younger, the family didn't have the resort, and like they were like super close, and they would go on trips together, and they would always have dinner together and all this. And we was like, I just want that back. I don't give a shit about this
Mhm.
resort or the money or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is why they're like well adjusted because they like
yeah,
they grew up normal
yeah.
originally.
Mm-hmm. And Win basically tells his dad the same thing, that like they all just miss being a family and like not having this stupid pressure, and like
Mhm.
none of them like asked for this resort, whatever. And like the dad is like, I did this for your future so that you have like a stable job and a shit ton of money and whatever. And Win's just like, we didn't ask for that, right? Like we were
Yeah.
we were fine.
Like thank you. That's great. Like very nice of you to help us out with that, but like I still need a family, you
Right.
know.
Definitely would rather have a family than like obscene amounts of money. Um,
Mm.
um So while that's going on, and like at one point, Wynn's like mom comes out and brings like a cookie or whatever to like Team and Woo. But they're all talking, and like Team just like leaves without like telling Wynn. He tells Woo,
Mm.
he's like, I gotta do something I forgot I gotta do. And really he just goes back to the bar to go like talk about love
Yeah.
and one sided love again.
I mean, it's like it's so awkward like if you're at your friend's house and their parents would come home and start like yelling at them or like someone
Yeah.
is like, I feel like I shouldn't be here for this.
Yeah.
So very relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna dip.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, there was one time I was at my boyfriend's house in high school, and his family was Vietnamese, and he they had gotten some like granite in from like Vietnam or something, like super. They were remodeling the kitchen, and it was like super expensive, like granite that was like one giant slab that was shaped like the entire like kitchen counter. Like it was inexpensive, and it was super heavy, and it was just on like the ground outside on like their back porch for the time being because they haven't had it installed yet. And
Mm.
it was like propped up by like a wood thing so that they could like lift it at some point later. And
Mm-hmm.
my boyfriend stood on it and snapped it. And the fight that came out of that, I was like, I didn't have a way of leaving. I've never wanted to leave anywhere more in my life.
Oh my god, that's my nightmare to be
Right?
stuck there for that.
It was like I just
Oh,
kind of like they went outside to like handle that, but like I could still like hear it. And I was just like
yeah,
inside with like his mom, and I was like I don't know what to do right now.
that's literally my worst nightmare. I hate
Yeah.
being in those like uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. That's like the one that stood out to me the most. Like it's been like 15 years and I'm still like that one time cuz
Yeah.
he like beat him. Like it was bad. It was one of those of like I do not need to be here for this. I was like I don't know how to leave. Like I call my mom? Like normally he just drives me home.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't know what to do either.
Yeah, and then like after it was over and like he came back inside, everything was like super awkward because I was like, so anyway, like how about them whatever, you know? Like what do you do? I'm like, are you good? Like do I need a like I don't
Mm,
do you need a hug? What do we
yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely would have also dipped, but yeah. Um no, he's gonna go dip to go talk about one-sided love once again.
Mhm.
Because he is convinced that he's not special, even though Win has like multiple times throughout like the show so far been like, "You're special to me. I treat you different." Like bluntly
Yeah.
said it too.
I mean, and Win is the one who's constantly like showering him with like love and attention
And
and
anything,
affection.
yeah, anything team wants, team gets from Win. Like
Mhm.
anything, um, whether he asks or not. To be honest,
Yeah.
Win's just perceptive.
Mhm.
um, so yeah, and so where are we? Oh yeah. The friends that teams with at the bar, they're like, you need to just tell Win about your feelings because you're never gonna know how Win feels if you don't tell him. And team's just like,
Mhm.
nah.
They're both so dumb.
Yes,
But this is the kind of miscommunication I like.
same. This
Like I
is
don't like miscommunication where it's actually like two people who keep getting it wrong, but
mhm.
more as like two people who are just kind of like emotionally stunted in different ways that are too
Yeah,
afraid to take the next step, but they both want to. They
hmm
just don't know how.
yeah,
Like I fuck with that.
yeah. This feels very
So,
realistic compared to some of them,
yes.
right?
Oh, absolutely. It's not
Like,
like a misunderstanding or whatever. It's just literally like
yeah,
yeah, this is like a real
because
realistic situation.
Team has figured out how he feels about Win, but he doesn't want to address it because he thinks it's one sided, right? And so
Yeah.
if he says anything, it's going to ruin whatever they do have. So it's like I rather have this
Hmm.
than nothing, but also this is stressing me the hell out.
Yeah.
And Wynn's having to deal with the fact that he cares.
And I think that's another reason why he's constantly like, "Hey, I bet you do this to all the girls."
hmm
Cuz like, he wants that confirmation of Win being like Win is kind of like, I don't he doesn't like always say it, but he's like, I don't like do that
Yeah.
with anyone else. But I
hmm
think team wants him to be like, no, you're special. Like he wants like a more direct response. So I think that's another reason why he keeps like saying stuff like that, which we joke about, but he's
Yeah.
probably trying to like push for a response.
Yeah. I think Team's also just waiting for Wynn to be like, yeah, all the girls. Like all I do this with all everybody.
Mm,
Like that you're not special, right? So where Team
yeah,
can finally go,
confirmation either
yeah.
way.
Because I think honestly, I either way, like because Win has said multiple times like you're special. I treat you different from everyone else, and
Hmm.
it seems like you're lying.
Yeah, he does.
Like
Yeah, that's
okay,
true. He really doesn't believe it.
no, no, he's waiting for that negative like confirmation bias of
Hmm.
like yeah, my opinion's right that he just treats me the same as everyone else and it's whatever and
Hmm.
he doesn't care about me. Um,
Hmm.
so
Even though we sleep together every night.
right. And it's like actually just cuddled up in bed. It's not like they're having sex
Hmm.
constantly. Like it's very
Mm.
like just close affection.
Most of the time that they're having sex, they're in like public or something. Like they're like in like weird places, and then in their like dorm room, they're just like cuddling
Yeah.
and sleeping.
Mhm. So, um Win is still tutoring Team in English. And one of the ways he makes him practice is to like make him go order like a coffee drink of like
Mm.
a latte macchiato whatever. And then they have their tutoring session in Team's dorm after that and when they're talking about like payment or whatever again and Wynn's like yeah I actually haven't cashed in on all the like tutoring sessions we've done I was just gonna wait till after your exam and then like cash in for like one big one. Um, more or less. And in all that, Team gets real cute and he like leans over and gives Win a kiss on the forehead. And he goes, "That's my deposit."
Aw, love it.
Yeah, it's so cute. They're so cute. I hate it. I love it. I just
Hmm.
But tutoring has worked because Team gets a B on the exam.
Nice.
Yay. Um and uh Parm and Manao are both on dates with their guys, so they kind of ditch Team after they saw their grades because Parm and Manao I think are in the class too, and they both get A's, but they're also just better at English. Um,
Mm.
Team calls himself dumb a lot, and it's more if he just doesn't care about school, I think. Um,
Yeah.
so, but because they're busy off on their dates, Team goes by Wynn's dorm to tell him about his English grade, and and Wynn is so funny. Wynn's like, next time get an A. Like, okay.
Of course.
But still, he's teasing. And
Hmm.
then Team's like, so what's my prize? And Wynn's like, I had to tutor you, buy you food, I let you sleep here all the time, and you want a prize? And
I should get the prize.
right? And Team's just kind of like, yeah, yeah, where's my prize? And so Wynn does have a prize for him actually. Wynn gives him a key to his dorm room. Oh.
Now he doesn't have to sleep with this door unlocked every night.
Yeah, and then
So that's
if
good for his safety.
yeah. And like if Wynn happens to not be home yet or whatever, Team can just come in. It's fine.
Hmm.
So
Very domestic. I don't know, like,
it's
how many friends with benefits get keys
right.
to
It's so
rooms,
domestic.
but it is.
Because earlier what had happened too. So after the grades and whatever, when they Team and Parm and Manao, um while they're all staying around talking, um Dean also shows up to like come pick up Parm or whatever, and he's like, "We're gonna have a date today," and he's like, "I already got you change of clothes," and so Dean also has keys to Parm's room already, so I think that was like a hint of that of like, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they've also now taken this step, like because Parm and Dean, I don't know if they're already like together.
I
I don't
feel like they
remember.
are.
Yeah,
I,
I
I
don't.
don't remember when they get together in the show, but I feel like it's pretty early.
Yeah, because they like immediately because they have to stop crying when they see each other. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we've at least in between us, we only see it twice, but it definitely happens a lot more. And until we meet again,
Yeah,
it's a lot.
it
Um,
is.
so, episode 9, it's swim competition day. Finally, this is day. They apparently don't have many competitions, because we are
Mm-hmm.
in like end of the year stuff now. Like this is like December. Um, and so Team is super stressed about the competition, and like Win like pulls him aside and gives him a pep talk and a hug. So it's another like very like emotional scene again where it was like more impactful to like have a hug than a kiss at that moment of like, I care. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
just look at me, pretend like this is just a normal like swim club meeting and it's just me. Don't pay attention to anyone else around. Don't worry about the competition. And just whatever. And then he gives him a good luck kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And Team's like, how dare you? What if people see, there's people around because again, they're not a thing and they're not public about whatever they're not. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're doing that, whatever. And then B sneaks off to go meet Prince in the bathroom, which isn't weird or anything.
Yeah.
Um, and B's so cute. The last time they had hung out together, at the dunking thing or whatever, Prince had given
Mm-hmm.
like B like a or like practice, it was something like that. Prince had given B like some sunscreen that he was like the model for. And B has become obsessed with this sunscreen now. And everyone's like, "You're already like super tan. Why do you even care anymore?" And B's like, "The damage, whatever." But he kind of gets a little excessive with it, so his face is now like white from
Yeah,
sunscreen.
he's just got the cast like really heavy.
It's so funny. And so Prince is like, let me fix like your sunscreen situation here. And like while they're doing that, they're like super close, and they have their first kiss. Yay!
Oh, bathroom
um,
kiss.
and then they have a conversation where like Prince is like, I don't know if you can accept me for who I am, what I am, and he's like, I'm gay. and
Mm.
and B's like, well, if you're gay, as in a man that likes another man, then I must be gay too, because I
Like,
like you.
like we just kissed, so
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's so rare. I feel like to hear like in a BL them actually like just straight up be like I'm gay. So that was kind of
uh
cool, but also like it's just super funny. Like yeah, you guys just kissed. I think he figured that out.
yeah,
Um,
I think like that. I think thought that was obvious, but we can talk about it. It's fine.
yeah. So, but B does like confess anyway his feelings to Prince of like that he likes him or whatever. And Prince is like being with me is really complicated though because we have to like hide our relationship and you know
Mm.
all this. And B's like I don't care. The relationship is between two people. I don't care about anyone else. We can hide it. It's fine.
Mm.
um and so that's where they're at. But I don't think they're necessarily dating at this point. I think they're just like whatever.
They're working towards it.
Yeah. They're at least communicating about it, unlike some people. Um,
Yeah, they're much better about it than anyone else in the show.
yeah, B's pretty good with his feelings. I'll say, like he's,
Yeah.
it might take him a minute or two, but once he gets there, he's there. Um,
Yeah, he's pretty go with the flow. I think he just kind of is able to accept things as they're happening. And
yeah,
it seems like Prince has already kind of figured his sexuality out, so that's not really
yeah,
an issue for him. So they're cruising.
mm-hmm.
It's just like the acting thing that's their main
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. So, but team wins the competition as he should.
Yay.
So he gets gold, and B actually gets silver. So B's also a good swimmer. Um,
They both got the kiss for good luck.
is that what it
That's
is?
why.
And team then has like a flashback to like a conversation with like his childhood friend Ton. And
Mm.
he's like where he's talking about he's like I want to get silver and Ton's like why not gold? And he's like because gold is reserved for you. Like
Mm.
oh. So team is having a moment dealing with that memory. But then the swim team is kind of like hanging out. I thought this scene was really funny cuz like they're outside of like swim club now and it's like ABC and team, Win, Dean, Tun, and like Prook or whatever. And Dean's like, now
Mm.
that the whole swim team's here, it's like there's definitely more than that at the swim team, but sure.
Yeah.
Um, but Dean's like, now that the whole swim team's here, because you guys did so well, we're gonna go to Win's family resort, whichever like specific one, as a celebration for doing well at the competition, and it's gonna be like all paid for,
Yippee.
right? Yeah,
I gotta
yay,
join the swim team. Like, damn.
right?
I want to go to all these resorts.
Right? Like they're having a great time. Um,
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been on swim team. Not gonna lie. Um,
Yeah,
I
I love swimming. My boyfriend was on swim team, but I
yeah
don't know. I never my school didn't have a pool, so it was kind of not
yeah
really like we had a swim team. We just like used a different school's pool, but I
yeah
don't think that's a lot of work.
yeah. That was we had a swim team as well in high school, and we used my university that I went to. We used their pool.
Mm,
I didn't have a way to get there, so
mm,
that's why I didn't try out for it. I don't know that I would have had time anyway, to be honest, because I was so academic
yeah.
focused. But I would have loved it. That or even diving.
I love swimming. I'm just not that good of a swimmer anyway, so I wouldn't have been good at it, but
Oh, I'm a pretty strong swimmer. I don't know that I have good form for like a competition. Like I would
mhm.
have had to definitely learn that, but I'm a pretty fast swimmer. Um,
Mhm.
I'm no Phelps or whatever, but which team has photos of Phelps on his wall in his dorm room, which I think is really cute. Um,
Oh, I didn't even notice.
yeah, I I always look at the posters on the walls because he also has like a signed like Oasis poster or something like that on his door.
I did see that one.
And Win also has like some music poster. I don't remember what it was that he has up. Um,
Hmm.
so it's always fun whatever posters they pick for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I
Uh,
do like the decoration,
hmm
the art department.
Yeah, Phelps. I had a boss that competed against Phelps in like college or whatever. They were on the like.
God,
He's like,
how unfair.
right. He's like, yeah. So I didn't win. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, if you
Like,
did that,
why are
we
you
would have to
here?
celebrate. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right. You should be elsewhere.
Yeah, you should also be on the Olympic swim team. Um,
Hmm.
so, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. Anyway, where I'm always
That
like,
is
yeah,
cool.
2 degrees away from Phelps.
Yeah, yeah, that is cool.
uh, so then Juan and Tun are talking on their video game thing again, and Tun accidentally like lets it slip more or less to Juan that he's like a business major and he's at the same year as like Juan's brother. And Juan's like, huh, wouldn't it be funny if you were like in the same university as my brother? And Twin's like, yeah, that'd be weird. What are the chances? That's not a thing. Um,
This
and
is your final chance to come clean.
yeah, instead he takes it the other way and he lies because Juan's like, yeah, you know my name. I don't know your name. What's your name? And Twin's like, my name is T, which makes sense with his like username being T
T
Rex.
Rex, yeah,
But it's like,
smart.
yeah, and that's where like, oh, Juan's like catches that immediately. He's like, oh yeah, T Rex T. That makes sense. Um, it's like, Tun,
Oh
please.
man. Now you're actively lying. You're not just hiding things from him. You're lying.
Yes.
It's like this is unfair now. Like you
Yeah.
gotta tell him.
Yeah. So now we're at. Oh, I skipped. We had a, which I think between us kind of skips it too. They have like a whole Christmas thing, but I think most of that is in Until We Meet Again. Um, so we skip that and we go straight to New Year. Team goes home to his family for New Year, and he's from like I think it's Chonburi or something like that. So it's like 2 hours ish away from Bangkok where they're at. Um, and so he's home and he's bonding with his parents because he's super close with his parents. Um, and then Wynn's family is like having a family meal for like the first time in forever. Um, and it is so awkward. Everybody looks so miserable except for Wynn and his mom.
Mhm.
And it's so awkward and miserable to the point that Juan just gets up and leaves. He's like, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah. I mean I don't blame him. He's kind of blamed for everything in this
Yeah.
family. So
Yeah, I don't blame him either, but it was really funny because he's like, I can't do this. I'm not even gonna fake
yeah,
this, and like
yeah.
he leaves, and like their dad is like, I didn't even say anything.
Your presence, man.
Yeah.
It's what you didn't say.
Mm-hmm. And like that night on like New Year's Eve or whatever, like Team and Win are on the phone talking, and that's when Team sees Ton's like mom walk by, and so he gets off the phone and he goes and he talks to her, but it's like hella awkward. Um,
Mhm.
and she's like asking him, she's like, oh, you're in college now, and she's like, what grade, like, yeah, what year are you? And he's like, I'm a first year. And so she's like stops and she's like, oh, so Ton would be a third year if he was still there, right? If he was, yeah,
Mhm.
still alive. And it's just stress. And then she's like, I need to go, and she just walks away.
Mhm.
And it's very sad. Um,
Yeah.
and then the next day, Team goes to Ton's grave, and he's like showing him like the gold medal he won, and he's having a moment where he's asking Ton if like he's been forgiven yet. Um, and he's just kind of talking, and then notices that Ton's mom shows up, so Team like goes and hides behind a bush.
Mhm.
And then she's having like cleaning up the grave, and she's also talking to Ton. And she's talking about how she ran into Team and she's not mad at Team anymore, and whatever, and having her moment. She's crying at the grave, and so Team is like falling apart behind this bush, like trying to hold it together, be quiet while she's there, but he is losing his shit a little bit,
Mhm.
and so she walks away, and he just completely falls apart. Um, so then team ends up calling Win, and we see this from like Win's POV, and Win's like all smiley because he's like hanging out with Woo, and he's like, and Wu's teasing him for being excited that team's calling, and he
Mhm.
finally answers the phone, and like team's crying, um,
Yeah.
and Win's like, wherever you are, stay there. I'll be there in 2 hours. Right, and immediately like grabs his jacket and runs off and hops on his motorcycle and drives down to team, where team is having his meltdown. Um,
Mhm.
and Win is like speeding on his motorcycle there, but of course it's raining. And I will say, thank God, again, they did not do some sort of like motorcycle accident on the show,
Car crash.
right? I was so stressed when it was like in the
Jesus.
rain or whatever, but it's not
Mhm.
there. Instead, Win finally gets there. It's dark, it's raining. They're both soaked because Team has just like decided he's just gonna stand next to this grave and sob for apparently 2 hours. Um,
Mhm.
And then he just cries into like Win's shoulders, and he's like, "I should have been the one to die. Why wasn't I the one that died? If I had died, uh, everything would be okay right now,
Mm.
right?" And it's
Some
heartbreaking
real
because
survivor's guilt.
for real, he should have been put in therapy like a long time ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, and Win's like, "It's gonna be okay. You have me now. Whatever, whatever." And then Win takes him to a hotel to like dry off and stay for the night. So Win always there to take care of team and drop anything to go drive 2 hours in the rain on a motorcycle to like save him from
Mhm.
whatever crisis. Because Win has no idea about any of this at this point. He doesn't know what the dreams are about. He
No.
doesn't know what the trauma is. He doesn't know why Win was standing next to a grave and sobbing. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure he's putting the pieces together because he's pretty smart. But like, team hasn't like actually told him anything about
yeah,
this.
and like it's come up a couple times where team's been like, don't you want to know what it is, and or, like what my like nightmares and stuff are about and what my problem is, and Win's like, I do, but only when you're ready to tell me. He's like, I'm not ever gonna
Mhm.
push for it. So,
Mhm.
and he doesn't. He just waits, and he's just there to hug in the meantime.
Mhm.
So episode 10, we find out that the hotel that they're staying at is part of Win's family resort stuff, um, because
Mm. Yeah.
um, Win
How
had
nice.
yeah, because they're like in the lobby talking, and like when Team's car got dropped off at the hotel, and like Win's motorcycle got taken back to Bangkok, and Team like freaks out, and he's like, "Wait, I didn't like." I'll pay for this. Like, what did it cost? Whatever. He's freaking out about the money. He's like, also, the hotel room. Let me pay for it. Whatever. Like, he's freaking out, and Win just starts laughing, and Win's like, "This is my hotel," and
Don't you worry.
yeah, and it's one of those. I don't think Team has like registered at this point how rich Win's family really is.
Mhm.
um, because Team kind of like takes a step back, and it's so funny because he like sizes up like Win, like he's like looking at him, and Win's in just like normal clothes, right? And so he's
Mhm.
just like, and Win's like, yeah, I don't look like a hotel owner, do I? And Team's like, no, you don't. So very much processing that Win is like rich. Um,
Yeah.
so Win and Team they go have breakfast with Team's parents then. And it's funny because like all three of them gang up on Team and like tease him.
Mhm.
um, but after Team and Win leave, um, which is Win driving, which is one of the things that's really funny in the show, is even though it's in Team's car, anytime they go anywhere in Team's car, Win is always the one driving.
Yeah, I make my boyfriend do this too. Like, I don't care whose car, I'm not driving.
It's so funny. I'm like the total opposite of like I don't let anybody drive my car. Um,
Yeah, I hate driving. Count me out.
I
People
like
always try to kill me on the road. It's like safer if I don't drive, and I'm a
oh
good
gosh,
driver, but
yeah.
people have it out for me.
I I like driving, but I also like if something goes wrong and like we get in an accident, I'd rather be like the one driving than somebody else because then I'm just gonna
Yeah.
hate my friend for wrecking my car. Um,
Yeah, oh, I won't drive someone else's car cuz
yeah,
I'm afraid of that. But if
yeah,
someone wants to drive my car, by all
yeah.
means.
I occasionally drive other people's cars. My best friend got married last year, and I had like made of not made of but like bridesmaids duties I had to do, where I had to go run around and shop for stuff with her like the day before. And so she just like
Mm-hmm.
gave me her car while she ran it around in like her fiance's car. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. Great.
Yeah.
Gonna
I know.
run.
Whenever people give me their car, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
right.
I'll be calm.
It's one thing when they're like in the car with me, and it was another where I was like literally just on my own running around a city I'd never been in.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so after Team and Win leave with Win driving, um, the parents are like, yeah, so we clocked it. There's something there, right? Immediately.
I mean, this boy drove 2 hours in the middle of the night to be with your son. Like, obviously, something's happening here.
I will say that Team did lie about that and was like, yeah, he happened to be in the area.
Sure.
So he lied about that. But what tipped them off at the very end, after just them being together for breakfast or whatever, was that Win was driving Team's car, because they were like, nobody, like Team doesn't let anybody drive his car.
Yeah.
So clearly he's somebody important.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was cute though, where they were like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
So, but back at the dorm, Win is sick because motorcycle in the rain for 2 hours. Um, and Team like goes into nurse mode, right? He finally gets to be the caretaker in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like taking care of him, making sure he's drinking and like taking medicine or whatever. And but he has to go to school the next day. But Dean runs into him while he's like picking up Parm or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, you can have the afternoon off from like swim club to go take care of Win. Win's like rarely ever sick, so like it's kind of a big deal when he is. Go take care of him."
He's probably being a baby about it.
Yeah, I would also be a baby about it. I
Mm.
have strong only child syndrome when it comes to being sick.
Mm.
So, um, and then after that, Team does finally tell Parm and Manao about Win and him, and he admits that he loves Win, but he doesn't know how Win feels because, yeah, which
Sure.
I think everyone else is
Can't
like,
just like read the room.
right? I think everyone else is like, there's something there, guys, but you know,
Yeah.
they let him feel his feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but then we go to the resort, and it's like the next day, so like Win is feeling mostly better. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and at the resort, Win thinks he and Parm, not Win, sorry, Team thinks he and Parm are gonna share a room, and the boys have other plans because Dean and
Mm-hmm.
Parm are obviously sharing a room, and so Win and Team are sharing a room, and Team's like, I want to be with my friend, and Win's like, no.
It's funny because like in Until We Meet Again, like the friends hang out, but in this show, it's like no friends, boyfriends only.
Yeah. um, and when Team and Parm are like hanging out in the water and whatever, and just kind of hanging out, and like Dean and Win are like off to the side by themselves, like hanging out in like a hot tub or something. And they're talking, and Dean's like, "Yeah, noticed you've been a lot happier lately." And Win's like, "Yeah, actually, I have." And Dean's like, "So when are you gonna tell Team about your feelings or whatever?" And Win's like, "Maybe tonight."
Okay.
I'm like, cool.
Acknowledgement.
Finally. Great.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like at dinner, they're or like after dinner, whatever, they're playing. It's like spin the bottle, but also like truth or dare or whatever. But it's just truth, like questions.
Yeah.
And like Dean spins and it lands on Team, and he like looks at him and he's like, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And Team says no, right? Because he doesn't.
He doesn't.
But like Win and Team are both upset about the answer. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
I know.
what was he
Like
supposed to say?
it's.
Yes?
I know it's really on the spot, but like, come on, you can't say yes when
Yeah.
you guys haven't like asked each other yet.
Right?
So
Like
yeah.
Dean, I don't know if if there's like a translation error or something, because Dean also looks surprised at like the answer. But again, they
Mm-hmm.
haven't clarified anything. It's,
Yeah.
they're not dating.
Yeah.
Like they are, but not like in official terms of they've talked about it, but they might as well be, right?
Mm, yeah.
Ugh, it's so dumb. I don't know what the point of that was.
Well, just let's increase the tension
I
like
guess.
8 degrees because it's about to get real tense real soon.
Yeah. So, but then Tun is also like sulking a little bit, staring at the ocean now. It's his turn to be weird. And like Win and Dean are there too. And Tun finally like admits that like he's in love with someone who doesn't know he exists basically because it's his like gaming friend,
Oof.
right? He's like I know a little about him, but he doesn't have a clue who I am and whatever. And Win and Dean are both like, that's rough, buddy."
Yep, it's your brother, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell
So
you that.
so then after that, Win goes back to Team, who's like sitting next to the water. And they have like a super cute moment where they're like just talking. Um, and like at first, of course, Win's like scolding him a little bit of like, you shouldn't sit so close to the water by yourself. What if you fall in? Whatever. And Team's like, I'm on the swim team, dude.
Yeah,
um,
I got this. Except
yeah,
that one time when I drowned, but
yeah,
it's okay.
it's fine. Um, and Win's like, this is like a river and not a pool though, so it's different, which is fair. Um, Current does make things a little different. Because it's
Mhm.
also I think they say it's like a rafting like resort or whatever, so like rapids and
It's
stuff.
like a
So
river.
yeah, because like when they are in the water, they're all wearing like life jackets.
Mhm.
So but they're having their cute little moment talking next to the water, and then Win kisses Team. And Team's like into it for like 2 seconds, but then he like I don't know, panics, I guess, and he pulls away and he's like, I'm gonna go to bed and like gets up and leaves. Um
Mhm.
and then we briefly flash over to like Parm and Dean who are like in bed and probably have just had sex. And Parm tells Dean he loves him.
Yeah, because this is where they do sleep together for like the very first time, and until we meet again.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. So I guess
Yeah.
this is lining up the plots a little bit again.
Yeah.
Because it's literally you just have that moment and then you move on again.
Yeah, that's to line because that's the first time they have sex in that show.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of showing us the
Yeah, where we're
where
at.
we are right now, which is funny because like these two have been like sleeping together for like months.
Yeah.
And then there's like Parm and Dean who are just like they've been too busy sobbing every time they see each other to like do anything physically.
Yeah. I'll say that because Parm and Dean definitely keep their relationship slow. Like they go really
Mhm.
heavy really quickly into like the emotional side, but the physical side is like hella slow.
Yeah, exactly. They're the
Um,
opposite of these two.
yeah. So Win does go after Team though. And he is like kind of aggressive with Team a little bit, like pushes them like onto the bed and
Mhm.
they're like having a different moment now where
Mhm.
Wynn's really not good with words, to be honest. Because Wynn's like, if we're gonna do this for real, like you can't run away or be scared of me. Um, and Team, and it's one of those like he's still not very clear about where he stands, right? He's just like, if we're gonna
Mhm.
date, you can't run away from me. But it's not like I like you, I want to date you. It's just like if
Mhm.
we're gonna do this, like okay, phrasing's a little
Mhm.
weird, got it. And Team is like just about to give in. Um, and then he's like, are things the same as they were the first time I ask you what we are? Which is back in the locker scene, right? Of like, what are
Mhm.
we? This is just like a thing for fun. And like he's like, if I get bored, like I leave type of a thing, right? And so that's why he asks again, are we still at that like level? And when because he's so dumb with his emotions doesn't answer fast enough. Like there's like he just there's such a pause of just nothing. And so
Yeah.
so team goes, "Okay, I can't do this." And just gets up and leaves.
Yeah, I love this because this is like team's breaking point basically,
Yeah.
and it's hard because they both like want the same things, but Win is just too emotionally stunted
Mhm.
to be able to express that properly, and team is just like drowning in his emotions right now. Oh, and I love it. I love this
Yeah,
kind of like it hurts so good.
it does. Um it was so like we were so close to getting what we wanted, right? But this is episode 10.
Mhm.
We've got 2 episodes left. Um
Yeah, it's miscommunication done right because now it just like keeps escalating
yeah.
until we resolve it, which is great. And I love episode 11.
Yeah. I I was going through it at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
Because I will say, Win does go after Team outside.
Yes, and this is when I watched this the first time, I was like, "Oh my fucking god, I've never seen someone in any of these goddamn shows go after the other person after they've fucked up and like not express themselves clearly." And I was just like,
Right? I mean, he's two for
"Thank
two in like
God."
this moment because they were outside at the water and they kissed and clearly Team freaked out. So Win went after him and that's where like Win was like, "Hey, I'm gonna clarify," but then he fucked that up and has to chase after
Mhm.
Team again. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
no
thank you for doing this cuz everyone in these shows they always just let them go and then it's all bad for like a
days.
couple more
Yeah,
weeks. But he's like, no, like he's like, I'm gonna fix this now, and he has to fix it now. Otherwise, like team is like literally done.
yeah,
So the stakes are pretty high here.
and it's so silly because in like one hand I fully understand like this being Team's breaking point where he's like I can't handle this anymore,
Hmm.
but also like he's just been so wrong in his assumptions because he's like I'm not special, right?
Yeah,
Win, you're special. I have a neon flashing sign that says you're special. Team, yeah, I'm not. Like
I
okay,
know.
so
Mm.
here start of episode 11. So Win goes after Team, and they're like sitting there, and they're right next to Team's guitar because Team brought his guitar with him on this trip because he's like, I want to play the guitar next to the water. Um,
Yeah,
um,
sure.
and so they're like talking, whatever, and Win's like trying to like fix things, but also he's just not good with words. And like Team just like changes the conversation like mid sentence and is like, I saw a guitar at your house. Is that yours? And Win's like, that's Juan's. I don't play. And Team is and he Win is just like, don't change the subject. We need to talk.
Hmm.
and Team just like grabs the guitar and like shoves it into like Win's hand is like, play something for me. And
Of
then
course.
Win gives us like the worst like confession song ever.
So good.
It's I love it so much. I remember when you were watching this and you started texting me of like, "Oh no, there's a guitar scene." And I was like, "Okay, but this is a special one."
I know. I usually like I cringe too hard for this, but this I'm like, oh, this is funny. Like
It's such a good moment.
I love it. Like he's like, I'll do it for you. It's gonna be bad, but
Right?
this is
Like
what you asked for.
like he's playing like one chord and he's only strumming like every so often and he's just singing so like off key and it's just
Mm,
but it's really like lyrics of like you're important to me, you're special to me. Like like I had to kind of deal with that myself and wrap my head around that I care about you, right? Um and he ends and then Team is like sobbing and giving like his long like speech on how he feels about Win and how Win is such a good person and he's so helpful to everyone and he's so worried that like the special treatment that he sees that he's getting from Win is like just in his head. um
mm,
and he's like also like going on about how like Win clearly doesn't care enough about himself because he like Team's like I see you like go through and help any friend like you never say no to helping people and doing whatever and he's like like when you know with your family too and he's like and when it comes to me like I stay the night with you but you lose
mm-hmm,
sleep because of me and you don't complain and then you help me study till like hours of the night. I don't know when you study for your own stuff and like
mm-hmm.
he's just going on and he's like sobbing and like Win is just also now sobbing and like it's such an impactful scene too. I don't know if you noticed
Mm-hmm.
it so much, but like there's no music or any background noise. It's just them talking. It is so silent outside of
Mm,
that. Like every
yeah.
once in a while, like at certain points they'll play a little bit of music and then it goes just back to silence. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like Team finally just letting it all out.
Yeah, this is like one of the best BL confession scenes
I love it so
I've ever
much.
seen.
Yeah.
At least, yeah, I thought it was really, really well done.
Because you have Wins like still hasn't been clear about it to be honest with his little
Mm-hmm.
confession song and then you have Team just kind of finally losing it of like I see this, but I feel like it's all in my head because you're good, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
really feel like I deserve it either, to be honest. Because he's like, you know all this stuff about me, and like when it, like what my interests are and what I like and what I dislike and all this, and he's like, but when I think about what I know about you, the only thing I can think of is like what I know is what your coffee order is.
Mhm.
right? And like it just fucks with them so much, and that's so understandable. Like, right, when you have somebody that's so like closed off on letting you in, but you care, and like, what do you have to show for it, basically?
Mhm.
Um, and then Team takes the guitar and also does a confession song that he sings so off key, and
Yeah.
because he's crying through it too. Um, and then when finally gets his shit together, and he's like, at one point he's saying you've read the room wrong, basically. Like, the special treatment is special because it's you. It's There's nothing else to it besides you are special. And he goes, I love you, you fool.
That's how I feel. Like, okay, you dumbasses, like kiss and
Right,
make up.
right. And he says, like, I love you like three different ways. It's so I just but the I love you, you fool, I just like, oh, my heart. um
Uh-huh.
and then Win just clearly goes, will you be my boyfriend? And Team just was like crying and nodding. um
Yay.
And then, like, after like 2-3 sentences later, Wynn's like, "So we're together now, right?" And Team's like, "Yes."
Yeah. I thought that was obvious, but yes.
Yes, that is, when you asked me to be your boyfriend, that's what that meant.
Yeah.
And so, like, they're immediately back to teasing each other after they're done crying, though. They're cute and straight back to their normal selves.
Mhm.
In like a way that makes sense. Like, it's not a super awkward like switch because they're all still like
Mhm.
covered in tears and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but then they go back to the hotel room and have sex.
Nice.
I mean, what else is there to do once you establish a relationship finally?
Yeah. You continue with how you started the relationship.
Yep. So then we time jump a little bit. And now it's Valentine's Day. And of course everybody has like their cute dates planned or whatever, besides apparently Win Team, because Team has completely forgotten that Valentine's Day exists. Um, and so Win like shows up with like Dean and Prook to like pick up the everyone else, and like Win and Team just go back to their like dorm. And then we
Mhm.
see Prince and B, um, and they're at Prince's apartment, which, side note, is the same apartment that is used in Me and Who with Big and Park now. Um,
Okay.
so I thought that was really funny. I saw the stairs and I was like, wait, I know those stairs too.
Uh-huh.
It's always the stairs. Um,
It is.
so, but they're there. And like Prince's manager shows up and is like trying to like ruin everything, basically, and just being a total asshole, and is like, you know, he's basically like trying to convince Prince like not to have this relationship, because he's like, it's never gonna work because you can't be public, and B's gonna like whatever, and B's like, no, you fuck off, basically, like, it's fine, our relationship is
Mhm.
solid, I'm not worried about it. Um, so they like finally get the manager's approval at that point, and so he just kind of is like, fine,
Gives up.
great, yeah, no, you guys are gonna make it, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, and then, okay, I love this so much. Um, we're back at the dorm, and Win and Team are like having a movie night again, and they're like eating a pizza or whatever. And Win is like, by the way, I got you something for Valentine's Day, and he gives him a broccoli plushie. Um, I don't. That's their fandom name. So BounPrem, yeah.
Oh.
So
Okay.
the BounPrem like fandom name is like broccoli. It's kind of, I
Mhm.
think the fans claimed it themselves, and it actually
Mhm.
comes from Until We Meet Again. Um, so in
Is there
Until We Meet,
broccoli?
yes. So in Until We Meet Again, the Christmas scene where they're on like their Christmas date, they start talking about mistletoe. Um, and
That rings bells.
yeah, and so they're talking about like kissing on their mistletoe, and then Win, I think, actually pulls out like some mistletoe, but it looks more like a stalk of broccoli. And so, um,
That's funny.
the fandom, I think, kind of just claimed that as their name at that point.
Mhm.
So that is why the broccoli plushie came in now, because at this point, since this was filmed like 2 years later, and
Mhm.
it's also referenced in Revamped. That's when they're cooking early on in the show, and that's why
Mm.
broccoli comes up. It was,
Oh.
yeah, was a
Okay, that
little,
makes sense.
yeah, was a little like love note to the fandom. Um,
Aw,
yeah,
that's sweet.
Apparently, there were some other ones I didn't catch in Revamp, but that one I know specifically because broccoli.
Yeah.
So, so they have their cute little Valentine's Day thing, and teams like I forgot it was Valentine's Day, so I forgot to get something.
Wow. Good
So
start to being a boyfriend.
yeah, well, he gives them sex instead. I think is what happens. Um,
That works as well.
yeah. So in the meantime, Juan and Tun are gaming together because obviously neither of them have Valentine's Day dates. Um,
Mhm.
but then Juan is like complaining about a headache, and he is walking around while he's still talking, and he gets like dizzy and he like falls and hits his head on the corner of his bed because his bed is made out of like granite or some shit.
Oh god. Not the granite.
Right? Like it's a pretty solid looking like bed frame. I think it's one
Mhm.
of those that's like built into the room too because it's the same bed frame they use in every show that the room is filmed in.
Yeah.
Um, so like he sits up from when he falls and he's like got blood all over his head right from the fall, but then he passes out and
Mm.
Tun like hears all of this and so he freaks out and he calls Win and he's like, "Don't ask questions. Your brother fell. Call somebody to get him help. Get him to the hospital. Whatever." And so then
Uh-huh.
everybody's at the hospital now. So we have Win and team and Tun is there and Wu. They're all in like Juan's hospital room in like the middle of the night.
Mhm.
I love that there's like six people in this hospital room. Like
I know.
don't think I've ever been to a hospital that's been like chill with that in the middle of the night.
No, but they're
Uh,
rich, so
yeah,
I guess it's
it's
fine.
fine.
You can do anything when you're rich.
True. Um, so while they're there, Win kind of immediately like pieced together that the person Chun was talking about that he fell in love with his gaming person was Juan. And he's just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Um, and then Juan also happens to like wake up during this confession and hears it and is like super pissed at Tun. He's like, "Was this a whole joke to you? Like you heard me like do all this? Were you making fun of me behind all this? Like just rage." And kicks him out of the hospital
Mhm.
room. And valid. I
Yeah, I'd be pretty upset too.
yeah. Yeah, I would be very upset.
Mhm.
um so a little while later, Juan is fine. He was just I like overexerted, like working too much more or less, right?
Mhm.
And so not sleeping enough and whatever, that's what it is. So he's gonna be fine. So Win gets to take him home from the hospital, and that is where Team discovers that Win actually owns cars. Like his family
Mhm.
has multiple cars, and so now he's got a Mercedes, and the team's like, not just a car, dude, you have a nice car. And Win's like, this is actually the cheapest car my family owns.
Oh
Like,
my
okay,
god.
sure, dude. Um,
Mm.
so
Okay.
yeah, so Win takes Juan home from the hospital, and they're there, and like the rest of the family's like sitting on the couches just waiting, and their dad finally apologizes for being the worst. Um,
Thank God.
right? Like he's like, okay, maybe I do need to be a better person. I put my kid in the hospital, basically.
Mhm.
But Juan also apologizes too for like fighting a lot and arguing and whatever. So yay,
Mhm.
family reconciliation, I guess. Um,
Yippee.
yeah. And then Juana's like, by the way, you know how you told me that I should transfer to like one of our resorts, like in an outer city? And his dad's like, yeah, I only did that as a threat because I was mad. And Juan's like, no, I actually want to do that. Can I go to somewhere else?
I feel like it's honestly probably for the best
Yeah.
cuz he seems like he needs to get out of that household and
Yeah.
have some of his own freedom.
Yeah. I think it's more to avoid Tun, to be honest.
It definitely is. But now that I
Yeah.
think about it, I'm like, honestly, that might be good for him. It's like, doesn't really seem like he has any friends here anyway. So,
Yeah. So so that's he's now gonna go to a resort or something. Um
hmm.
And then we see what Prook and Manao are up to. Manao has had like another show, and or I guess has finally had her show. And like Prook shows up and they're talking and she's like back in her normal clothes and whatever. And and she's talking about how like the cast they're doing like group photos, but she's not allowed to be part of it because she's not part of the cast. She's part of set design or whatever, so she would just be in the way. Um,
I'm sorry, but what theater treats their like no theater is
no,
gonna treat the people who do like the lighting and the music and like the stage stuff like that because
they're
being
so
like a
important.
stagehand is so I feel like important.
Mm-hmm. I'll say I wasn't in theater, but I had a lot of theater friends, and the actors would all defend the stagehands to the end.
Yeah, that's what I hear too. So
Yeah, like that
like you
was
have to. You have no show without them, literally.
for real. Like especially like stuff like lighting and stuff like that. Like you can get away with like
Hmm.
not having a set, but like a set will easily make or break a show. Um,
Yeah.
and and just yeah. So like whatever this toxic bullshit is, like I hate this club. They're
Hmm.
so toxic.
Yeah.
Um,
Quit. Find a new. Join the baking club.
right? But it's like she
You don't
wants
have to
to
do anything. Parm will bake everything for you.
yeah, but it's tough because she wants to act, right? Like that's what she wants to do.
Hmm.
So like it's like okay. Um and Manal is like trying to like deflect with jokes because that's what she likes to do, right? Is it's her like defense mechanism. And Pruk is just like, no, we're not doing this time. We're gonna let you feel some emotion. So he just hugs her and says that she can't
Mm.
hide behind the jokes, and she's just like, I just want to make people laugh, and she's like sobbing.
Mm.
And after they have that moment, he finally asks her to like be his girlfriend, and so now they're officially together.
Yay.
Yay.
Yippee.
So, and that was episode 11. So, one episode left. We're almost there.
Almost there.
Um, so Juan is finally switching hotels, and he happens to be switching to the resort that's in Team's hometown in like Chanbury or whatever it is. So when Team Juan and Ryu decide to take a weekend trip there, together.
Hmm.
And Ryu is so funny, because he's like, yeah, Win and Team and I can share a room, and you know, whatever. And Juan's
Uh,
like, no, and Ryu's like, what? And
oh, sweet child, no.
he's so innocent. It's so fucking cute. And Juan's like, you gotta let the ones dating have a room together by themselves. And Ryu's like, what? What do you mean they're dating?
Why?
And Team's like, Win, you told people? And Win's like, why would I hide it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, it's been pretty obvious.
yeah, it's just it's so funny.
Hmm.
Um, but then Team and Win go back to Ton's grave. Because Team wants to like leave the gold medal there, and like kind of have some closure again. And like Team finally tells Win like what his whole trauma is. Like Team convinced Ton to like go swimming when they weren't supposed to. Like their parents had told them not to, and that's when Team got his leg cramp and almost drowned. And Ton saved him, and then did drown in the process. And like it was really traumatic because um like after like all that, after like the like rescue people like quit trying to save him basically, like Ton's mom was like having a meltdown, right, of like why was it my son, and you know whatever. It's what you
Hmm.
would expect from a mother holding her dead child. um
Yeah.
like valid crash out. um
Yeah.
so but while like Team is kind of like talking through like how it's all his fault and all this whatever, Ton's mom happens to show up while like Team is like crying and whatever. Um, but
Hmm.
they make peace, and because she's like, I
Hmm.
forgave you a long time ago. Like it wasn't that. And he's like, but you said. And she's like, yeah, I was angry and grieving. She's like,
Yeah.
I didn't realize you've been carrying that guilt this entire time. I'm like, I'm sorry for that, you know. But
Hmm.
they're okay. So as okay as you can
Yeah.
be. Like I don't, you know, a parent really never gets over losing a kid, right? Um,
Hmm.
so, but
But it's she's not gonna blame the other
no,
5-year-old
no, like
in the situation.
he
So.
was a kid. It was an accident, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, so there's closure.
Hmm.
Um, and then Win and Juan are back at the resort, and they're talking about Tun, and Win is like, you know, maybe you should actually forgive Tun. He told me the whole story of like what actually happened. It's like it makes sense, right? He's like, you should like hear him out. Um, And
Mm-hmm.
he's like talking, and Juan does admit that he has like feelings that are maybe more than friends for Tun, but also, like, part of the problem, like part of like Tun's problem was like Juan worrying about Juan just seeing him as Win's friend, right? Like as a younger friend, because there is a, I think, 4-year age gap between them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and, he's like, and Tun like didn't want to be seen as just like the friend or whatever. So, but while Win and Juan are having this conversation, Win holds up his phone and he had secretly been on a call with Tun, so Tun heard everything.
Oh my god, don't do this.
Yeah. Um,
In real life, don't do this.
and then you hear Tun like screaming from like a little ways away, and he's like up on like a balcony, and he's like waving. He's like, "Yeah, I heard that. Come talk to me. You admitted that you have feelings." Um,
Uh,
but then like resort security like come out of nowhere and start to drag him away. And Juan like goes off to go like rescue him basically from the staff. So then they're in like a hotel room, and Tun has like used this as his chance to explain himself and whatever. And Tun like asks for them to be together, and Juan's like, you know, um, like it doesn't make sense. Like I'm here now, and you're in Bangkok, and you're in school, and there's an age gap, and he's trying to come up with excuses, but it's such bullshit.
mm-hmm.
Um, and Sun's like, I don't care. He's like, I can drive here every night and leave every morning for school. I will make it work, basically.
Mm.
Whatever. And finally Juan does give in, and he says he's willing to give them a chance. So and they waste no time jumping into bed.
Nope. We gotta finish strong here, people.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up all the loose ends.
Yeah. They honestly like all of these, like there hasn't really been an NC scene, right? Like it's been like they get into
Mm-hmm.
bed and like they're still mostly clothed most time, and then they like cut, move next scene, or a cut end episode or whatever. I will say like this one I think was like the closest to being like an NC scene, because you see a lot more like chest kissing and stuff in this one. They definitely
Yeah, that's
pushed it a
true.
lot further. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, maybe the actors were just more down to do that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I
Mm.
thought it funny.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
um, so, but Team now talks about how he has like a clear head, and he doesn't feel like his trauma is hanging over him anymore, and it's like the weight has been lifted off of him finally. And he wins again his next swim competition, so success.
Mm-hmm.
No more trauma nightmares, I think. And Prince and B are hanging out together in like bed or whatever, cuddled up. And Prince is talking about like leaving the industry, soon, like whenever his show's wrapped. So he doesn't have to hide his relationship with B anymore. And B's just like, absolutely not. He's like, I know
Mm-hmm.
you like acting, so we're not gonna end that, thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
don't give up your career for me.
right,
We're in college. I'm 18 years old.
right, like come on now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he and B's like, I'd rather wait until society changes and accept us than like run away from the problem, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's like, it's
Yeah.
fine. We don't. B's like so chill about like not being public about it, because like the people that care, like that matter, know, right? Like their
Mm-hmm.
friend circle knows, and that's all that needs to know. And if they have
Mm-hmm.
to not go on a lot of public dates, they'll figure it out. Not a big
Yeah.
deal. So they're living their best life. Um, Manao gets cast in a acting role finally for the next play, so she finally gets what she wants to, and like Pruk is there to like
Yay.
celebrate with her, and so they're happy, and she gets her happy end of her boyfriend and a role in a play now. Um,
Happy endings all around.
Yay! And then we have one last beach trip for literally the entire cast. So like every like Manao hasn't really
This is
been
like the
around.
fourth one.
Yeah. So this one is literally everyone. It's the whole swim
Mm-hmm.
team plus like all the siblings. Manao is there this time. Parm is there. They're all there, and they're like, I thought somebody was gonna get married there for a second, because they're under like this like archway, like this floral thing. It definitely looks like somebody's getting married, and like they make a joke
Mm-hmm.
about it, I think, but it's just the whole cast is literally just hanging out in front of this archway.
Yeah, they're just like fucking with us. I love it.
Yeah, it is super cute. And then um, team does challenge Win to a swim competition, though. So the very last scene is just them jumping into to get into the water, and that's where it freezes and it cuts, and we're done with my favorite show.
Yay. Wonderful. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah,
Immensely.
I love it. Like it hits in a different way from something like what we talked about earlier with like Kim Jira
Mm-hmm.
or like J&J or something like that, you know. Like it's
Yeah.
not like intense like whatever. It's very slice of life, realistic problems, honestly. Um
Mm-hmm.
and it's just I think it's well done, and it's nice to see such green flags, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nobody's
It's really like the consent stuff is like really refreshing in this show.
yes.
Like even before they talk about like when they have that final chat where they were like confessing their feelings for each other and doing the song thing.
Mhm.
It's after like they've had like I think team had some drinks with like the rest of the team, but like
Yeah.
the first thing that Win asks is like, "Are you drunk?"
Mhm.
Like before we have this conversation, and
Yeah.
team is like, "No, I had like one drink."
Yeah,
So
that
like
was I think why they
stuff
were
like
on the
that.
bed or something like that. Um,
Mm.
before like Wayne fucked up on the "Are we the same as we were the second time we hooked up?"
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I this show is just done so well, I think, and
Mhm.
it's I don't know, it's just it's such a good watch for me because it's one of those I'm like I can put it
Yeah.
on and like there's stakes, but it's not to the point where I'm like stressed. I cried obviously because it's what I do.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
it's like serious when it needs to be, but it's not a melodrama like
mhm,
Until We Meet Again is.
yeah.
It is mostly just like r- realistic life, and then there are some like serious moments, but they're like serious for a reason. Like,
Mhm.
they have to deal with like death and grief and
Yeah.
other things. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
So, but yeah. I will say there's some funny things like Wynn's hair.
Oh my god, how did we not mention this yet?
Okay, so Wynn's hair is dyed very blonde and changes one the type of blonde because at some point it's like a honey. But
Hmm.
also like his roots are inconsistent throughout the entire show.
The roots are so bad, dude. Like they like all the scenes when they're in like the locker room and the pool, it's like to his scalp. It's like very fresh. And
Mhm.
then the rest of it it's like kind of varying lengths of like root. I'm like if they just had it all a little bit of root,
Yeah.
it would have been fine, but just having those like some scenes where it'll just be like his hair's shorter now and like completely blonde. It's like, oh, this,
Yeah, that's
yeah, it takes you out of it like a little bit.
yeah, it's and then I went back with the broccoli thing because I wanted to because I knew the what the reference was, but I wasn't sure exactly what the scene was. I couldn't remember, so I
Mm-hmm.
went back and watched the clip from Until We Meet Again for that
Mm-hmm.
broccoli scene, and like again, hair is totally different, which I know is like
Mm-hmm.
a 2 year like gap between filming, but like they didn't even try.
No.
It was so funny. Um,
Yeah. I know a lot of people complain about that, which is like so valid because it's like, it's pretty egregious. Like, it's
yeah.
just like constant continuity errors, but whatever. At some point, I was just like accepted it. I was like,
Yeah, the show's
fuck
so
it.
good that I'm not worried about it, is more or less how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm like, if that's my biggest complaint, the show's doing great.
Hmm. Yeah. It's so funny because you just know that they filmed all the like pool scenes first
Yeah.
because he's got fresh roots there. And his hair is like so, and some also just like the length, like it's so short, and then other scenes it'll be so long, and then it'll go back to being so short, like you couldn't even put it in a ponytail.
Yeah. But
It's like
then
okay.
he does wear it in a ponytail occasionally. Um,
Mhm.
that's one of the things that always cracks me up about it too. And this is just like a personal thing for me is like he's constantly taking like his helmet on and off, and he'll have like a ponytail or whatever in there, and
Mhm.
everything just comes off and his hair comes out perfect. And I'm like, how loose is your helmet? Because my my motorcycle helmet that I have, when I take that off, I have to like brush my hair because my hair is
Yeah.
just a mess, and like there's no way like I'm comfortably wearing a ponytail with that. So, but
He's got
he
to look
just
good though.
it just comes on and off so easily, and I'm like, that stresses me out. I don't think you have the right size helmet.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah.
So, but it's little thing like it's things that I don't care about as far as show goes. It just I think it's funny.
Yeah, it is. It's you just gotta learn
Yeah. And
to
then
deal with it.
I think they did well with all the like side characters too. Like just enough in there to keep it not just Win and team miscommunicating for 12 hours. But
Yeah, I probably could have done without like B and Prince. I
yeah.
think their relationship was like fine and cute. I do wish it impacted the story at all.
Yeah.
Like they could have been completely taken out and the story would have been literally exactly the same.
Yeah.
Cuz like none of those characters really did anything else that it like changed the plot or like even
Mhm.
none of them were even like that close to the other characters.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I'm like fine with it. Like I'm not mad at it, but I'm not like super I never got like super invested in the relationship. I was just kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, they're here and they're cute and like good for them, but kind of whatever.
Yeah. I wasn't necessarily invested in them, but it was
Mm-hmm.
nice to break things up a little bit because I think otherwise we'd have had like a 7 or 8 episode show to be honest.
Yeah.
I but I don't know. I think it was at least handled well where I didn't hate them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
so in love with BounPrem that that was all that it mattered to me. That's
Yeah.
when I was doing the notes for this. Would watch the scenes enough to know what was happening in the scene and then just skip over
Mm-hmm.
it and was like, this is where this happened. Um,
Yeah, and I do like that they don't recap very much of Until We Meet Again at all. Because I would
yeah.
get annoyed if it was like showing me the same shit like I already watched. Like
Hmm.
Until We Meet Again, that's the one that's like 14 episodes, I think.
Yeah, that one's
Because
really long.
yeah, it's pretty long. And so it's like, okay, I watched so much of the show. I don't need to be watching that again. And so I like the way that they got us they like aligned us with the timelines. Like they would show you like, oh, this is the grocery store scene and
Hmm.
this is when they sleep together for the first time. And it's like, okay, just like little things where you're like, oh, that's where we are in
Hmm.
the timeline of that show, but you never actually had to rewatch the same scene twice.
Yeah, thank God.
So I thought that was good.
Um,
Even if it was funny that with like no context they're just like crying
yeah.
all the time.
That's because I think outside of that, I don't think there's much that alludes to like until we meet again in a way that's like plot anything. I think just the crying just
Mm,
doesn't make any sense without having seen until we meet again. Um
no.
and
Oh, and also I just see this here on the My Drama list. The novel for this show is called Hemp Rope.
oh
So that's the callback there. That's why they
oh
we
yeah.
talked about that a little bit, so I guess
Yeah.
that's the reasoning.
I wonder if there's like a deleted scene or something where they actually like tied the hemp rope or something. So,
Mm,
cuz I was waiting for that. Like when I was rewatching, I completely forgot about the hemp rope thing. Um
yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah. So, great show. I love it so
Mhm.
much. I hope everyone else loves it. It is a very loved one, I would say. I don't remember what the
Yeah.
MDL rating is, but
7.9.
that's not bad. It's pretty high.
Mhm.
Until We Meet Again has
Yeah.
an 8.1. I find I prefer Between Us.
I definitely prefer Between Us. Until We Meet Again was like it was good. I just don't like I know they're like soulmates and reincarnated, but I just don't like the insta love trope, which I talk about
Yeah.
all the time, where it's like we meet and then we skip all the steps and we're in love.
Yeah.
To me, I like the chase. I like this,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out your relationship until you reach that point.
Yeah.
So this show is definitely more my speed, but I enjoyed both of them.
Yeah. I really liked Until We Meet Again until I watched Between Us and I was like, no, this is my everything now.
Yeah,
Because I went from
yeah.
that to I think their other show at the time was like Even Sun, which is also not a great show in my opinion. Like it's all
Mm.
right, it's fine. It just
Mm-hmm.
coming off of Between Us High to Even Sun, which I think was before Between Us. I think it might have been it came out in between Until We Meet Again in
Mm.
Between Us. I think I don't remember. Um and it's all right. It's another one where I think Boone has like blonde hair with some roots, but then also Prem has like bright orange hair.
Okay. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but
Yeah. It's Prem. It has to. I think it's Prem. It has to be like a loan shark or something like that. One of them has to be a loan shark, and the other one's like an island boy or something. Like it's a whole thing.
gotcha.
So, and
Okay.
then of course they've been in revamp. I'm hoping we get another show from them. Whenever GMM TV decides to drop the 2026 lineup.
Yes. I hope so too.
Yeah.
I won't say too much on revamp, but I didn't really like it. So, and I
I
love these two, so I would love to see them in something else.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, and so it makes me sad.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I've seen some comments on things like apparently Boone said that the show wasn't going to be as dark as the pilot. Like off the bat, he said that, and I missed that. And I think had I known that, I would have gone in with different expectations. So
I kind of just assumed it wasn't going to be dark because I feel like just like the history of Thai vampire shows being not dark, I was like, okay, it's not going to be. My problem was the writing. I
yeah,
thought the writing was really
yeah. I mean, it definitely missed the
not
mark
good.
on some things.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I was
Anyway.
hoping for dark. Anyway,
Yeah, I would have loved dark. I would have loved.
yeah.
There's a lot I would have preferred, but
Mm-hmm.
I do love them, so I really hope we see them in
Yeah.
something else soon.
Yeah, I think we will. I would be
Mhm.
surprised if we don't because they are a fairly popular ship. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that was the show. Um, as usual, we have merch now. Um, so you can.
Oh.
Oh, Shy has the pants.
I'm showing my merch if you're just listening. We have some pajama pants I'm wearing. They're
Yeah.
comfy.
So glad that we finally have a sample of that and that they are awesome.
Mhm.
But you can find the link to the merch shop in the link tree is the easiest way, but it's blintheair-shop.fourthwall.com. And then you can find us on all of our socials as usual on Instagram and TikTok at bl.in.the.air. And Twitter is blintheair. Discord is also going to be in the link tree. We are chatty there. I never shut up about anything.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
we are streaming our video on Spotify and YouTube. And we're streaming audio pretty much everywhere you're listening. If you feel like it and you're listening on Spotify, you should also give us a rating.
Yes, but only if it's good.
Yeah. If you hate us, don't
If
tell
not,
us.
then just yeah, just scroll on.
But we'll catch you next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.